talk the way you are.
Yeah. This is a very informal stream.
Yeah, we are. We just sit around and bullshit and talk about whatever comes to our mind. So there's Jenny. Hi, everybody in the chat. How is everybody tonight? Appreciate you guys coming like I always do. You guys are always awesome and supportive, and I fucking love you. And so we have a new guest, and OGW is Heather, and she is part owner of the business I work for. Let's put it that way. So yeah, that's we're all just coming in here tonight. So Heather, how was your day? Huh?
I'd rather just call her Agua. That's what it says. OGW Agua.
Okay.
I love that.
Oh, Agua, yeah. What did I come up with? OHOW. One hell of a woman. That's it. That's what. Yeah. Gotta change the name of my phone. Anyways, so we're all just sitting here. We were talking medical stuff and getting to know everybody. And yeah. So Heather, how was your day at work?
Shut up. My day was really fucking awesome. It was good.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I only had like 12 patients, right? Like 12 or 13.
Yeah, that was like the lightest day you've had in months. So
it was really good. Nobody had cancer. Yes. Nobody was pregnant that didn't want to be.
Yes.
And I took off a bunch of moles and, froze a couple of warts.
Big medicine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I get the big bucks.
That's right. Then you talked to San Juan IPA today, and they said something about you guys owing like $30,000, and you're like, it's $10,000 a month. I'm like, there goes Heather's fucking paycheck.
Yeah, that would be two months paycheck. 3.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God,
it's craziness. Jenny, how was your? Oh, I'm sorry. I know. You know what he wants to do, Heather?
He wants to come join our practice.
Yeah, I keep trying to get him to do that. Honestly, I totally want him because he would fit in so good there. And here in Santa Fe, it's so fucking chilled and everybody's so accepting. Like, what? Just to let you guys know how cool it is. Like when I decided to transition, and I started going by he, him. Everybody in the office got it on board. They were amazing about it. Heather started walking around calling me Mr. B really loud intentionally, which was amazing. And everybody I talked to that had known me previously for the previous 3 or 4 months, when I told them I was transitioning and I changed my name and that's why I wasn't going by B anymore, they were like, good for you. There's that baby.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, everybody's so supportive.
Oh my God, the baby.
There's a baby.
How do I make the baby bigger?
Oh, hold on. I'll big screen the baby. Heather loves babies.
Oh, Puddums. Little sugar
Isn't she
bite.
cute?
Where'd you get that?
Well, it kind of fell out of my body like 2 years ago.
Oh my God.
We wish it would be falling out. It's more like...
Yeah, I wish it didn't take as much work as falling out implies.
That's why they call it labor.
Ox, you don't have to really keep your mouth shut. She already knows. That discussion's been had. Everything's good. Trust me, everything's fucking awesome. So yeah, everything's good. So Jenny, hold on. I want to say hi to everybody. Jenny, what was your day? What'd you do today?
I stayed in bed all day.
Yeah.
Why?
Sounds like retirement. That's great.
Yeah. Hey, Agua.
Whatever the fuck you want.
Yes.
You gotta change your camera to landscape.
What do I do? Like this?
Oh, yes.
Oh
God, yeah, that's a way better view.
Further
See that face
and feel more comfy and put more lights in there. Yeah, see, like that.
There she is. Catnip, how was your day? How's the baby?
Baby decided that 4 o'clock this morning was bedtime and getting up at 1 p.m. was what she was doing today. So,
so mom got some sleep?
Mommy got some sleep. I slept from 4 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Nice.
I got up and I just started doing stuff.
Oh, that's more sleep than I got. I was awake every hour and a half checking my phone for no damn reason while someone else was sleeping. I couldn't. I was so excited about the morning. I was waiting. I was like Christmas. You know, I was like, is it time to get up? Do I get to open the package yet?
Did Santa come?
Did Santa come? I need my package.
So,
I want my
so
gift.
B and I were talking about before the stream.
Yeah.
It's like a funny difference between like a group of guys versus a group of girls. It's like like women, whenever they have like some, like let's say one person has something like they have a food item that's really awesome. They're like, let's share. Like, does everyone want a little bit? They've like passed it around to the class. And then dudes like, I have this awesome food item and you can't have any of it. It's all mine.
Yeah. Hands up.
Yeah, like that damn burger you had that one time that had that huge, he had this burger and had a huge piece of pork on it. The burger was like barely would fit in my hands, never mind his. And he had this huge piece of pork sticking out both ends of it. And he's sitting there going, ah, and I'm like, I'm hungry, you dickhead. What are you doing right now?
Nom nom.
Yeah, well, like every group of women I've been with, they're like, if they have something cool at like a restaurant, something like, hey, does anyone want to try some? Like, or like if they make something, like, well, I made some for everybody. And then with dudes, it's like, no, I made this and it's mine. Go get your own.
Go get your own. Dude, I'm hungry. It's testosterone. Leave me alone.
I love to cook for people.
Baby has decided she's going back to sleep.
Baby has decided what?
She's going back to sleep.
Baby has decided she's going back to sleep, even though she just woke up from like a 2.5 hour nap.
Apparently, the baby needs some cake. According
Sounds
to
like me.
According to Stool, the baby needs some cake.
Stool, I'm not fixing to go in the kitchen and make an entire cake to try to feed to baby when she is trying to sleep.
It's a really bad idea. Yeah. If kids want to sleep, you know what they do? What you do when they're little? You let them sleep. That's what you do.
Also, I'm pretty sure that kid does not need a sugar rush right now.
No.
She had one last night. That's for damn sure.
That's a really nice feeling.
After we got done with D&D, or I think it was while we were playing D&D, I was giving her handfuls of sweet tarts.
Oh, yeah, you were.
Oh.
Because that was a good idea.
Catnip, you did that to yourself, Sunshine.
I did. I'm an asshole. Especially to me.
Therein lies the crash today. It's like sweet tart crash.
Yeah, sweet tart crash, right.
Did she like the sweet tarts?
Oh, yeah, she loves most sweet things.
Well, yeah.
They're not that sweet. They're sour.
How old is the baby?
She is almost 2.5.
Oh, my goodness.
What, baby?
Hi, Booger.
They're that cute.
Sorry,
face.
my phone's on the charger, so you can't see me.
Oh, you're fine. We can hear you. It's fine. You could always, if you wanted to, Heather, you can always click that little video camera looking button and it'll go to an icon. And then you don't have to feel awkward if you're like doing something you don't want anybody to see.
Oh, sugars.
Oh, my goodness.
She was trying to keep her busy, Maya, because we were playing D&D for like 4 or 5 hours last night. And
Maya,
I was totally
like a
distracted.
good idea because I'm bad at decisions.
I was totally distracted. I had to keep going. What are we doing? What's going on? Oh, yeah. I'll go to the merchant and buy food now. I'll be there. Let me know when it's my turn again. I felt bad because it's so
every time
fun, but...
it was B's turn, we had to be like, B, put your phone down. Pay attention.
I couldn't help it. Now you know why. Everybody knows why now.
Who the fuck is this in the chat?
I don't know. Hands moist thunder nipples. I've seen that somewhere.
I don't know, but
think
no.
of Han Solo.
Probably...
Han's moist thunder nipples.
Matt
big.
I'm trying to sleep. Shh. Turn the stream off, you dumbass. Oh, we lost Omog. Her daughter calls her Omog, which is Oh Mother of Greatness. Because she's an awesome mom too. Anyways, hello Commander and Maya and hands with your moist thunder nipples, whatever that means, and Math Pig and my bro. I love you, man.
I want to know. I want to know who Thunder Nipples is. I like that name.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I really want to know who that is.
Oh,
it
there
It
she
makes me
is.
kind of horny.
Right now, 'cause
You're
he's
junk
so hot.
shopping. It's an official word.
Yeah,
There
you
we
and
go.
Daddy, you and
There you
Daddy
are.
have cuddled it.
I don't know who you are, Hans. We're not busting on you. We just want to know who you
You're
are.
hilarious. That's why we want to know, because you're
Yeah. If we didn't like you, we just ignore you. That's what we do here.
funny.
Oh, Thunder Nipples is a guy?
I mean, maybe.
So much for the horniness.
They said I am. Can you give me a he or a she or a they? Yeah, no, I've seen him around somewhere. Maya. Oh, it is a he. Okay. I don't want to misgender people because, you know, some of us are sensitive about that. I don't know anybody.
I've never seen Hans in a stream.
I have seen
So,
him. Is that incense or you? What are you doing, lady? Oh, don't pick on her. She'll just leave. No, she'll be back. Yes. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I've seen you somewhere. I think I've seen you like in Math Pigs chats and Critical Cripple and stuff, right? Isn't that where you have been? I can't keep my YouTube life is crazy right now, and my whole entire real life is crazy because I have this whole thing I have to hide for a long time, and it's going to be really hard at work.
Who wants to see a picture from 4 years ago of me and husband when we got married?
Sure.
Oh, Dragnauts channel. That's it, Maya. Thank you. That's where I've seen Hans at before.
In my defense, Math Pig, I've only had a YouTube channel since March, so I'm new.
Which one are you?
Hold it still. Fuzzy. Fuzzy. Oh, you guys are cute.
Right? Aren't we adorable?
You are adorable.
Yeah, actually you are.
Get a room, Catnip.
We have a whole house. I don't need a room. I have a whole house.
Get a room in your house.
We have several.
Ben's just going to say that to everybody as he eats chips. Everybody
Kitchens
get a
are
room.
always fun.
Maybe
I'm only eating the
Ben
chips
needs
because
a
my
room with
roast
his
is
chips.
because I'm heating up my roast in the pressure cooker.
Oh, okay. Do you have one of those Instant Pots or like pressure cooker?
It's in.
Yeah. I thought about getting one of those, but I don't have enough room for the oven deal and the Instapot deal. So, yeah. Did you guys get married right out of kindergarten? Maya wants to know, Catnip.
No, we did not get married right out of kindergarten.
Well, you look like babies to us, so I'm just
Well,
saying.
yeah.
Even Ben thinks you look young. You look young.
Well, uh-huh. I was, what, 19 in that picture?
You were
18, 19? Something like that.
you were.
I'm 23 now, and we've been married for 4 years. So yeah, I would have been.
The math is right somewhere.
I would have been 19.
So you're a baby. Okay.
Yeah, and he's
Close enough.
2 years older than me, so he was 21. He was 21 when I was
Ah.
19.
You are babies. Holy
Robbing
shit.
that cradle there, Slick.
He can't hear you.
Oh well. It's okay. It's probably better anyways. I tend to scare guys away or they become my best friends. One of the two.
I don't
just
know.
don't
I
know
think
which
I
it's
think
gonna
he
be.
likes you. What do you think about B?
I like him.
It's swell.
I think he's funny. Cracked me up last night when I was paying attention.
And now you know why I married
I can't
him.
find my chapstick.
Because
My
he's
lips
funny.
are so dry. Why do my lips go dry the day before I start seeing someone? What the fuck's up with that shit?
I
So
don't
much
know, but
bullshit.
Vaseline works in a pinch.
I was gonna quit smoking, you guys. I had no cigarettes, and I went in with my vape this morning, and I was trying hard to not smoke, and then I had to work with someone all day and act like nothing was up and everything was normal. course,
Exciting.
We normally hug each other at the beginning and the end of every day, anyways. Like that's just kind of how
Yeah,
Heather
but it's
is.
different now.
No, but she hugs everybody that wants a hug. She's just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we were like, "How are you?" Don't come near me. Don't touch me. Yeah, it was pretty.
Well, you know
funny.
what? Then put it on the books that if I ever meet you and Heather in person, I want a hug from both of you.
Oh,
Deal
I'm a
with
great
it.
hugger. I've been told she's an amazing hugger. She always, you know what it is people if they hug you and they really care about you being a person, they're gonna give you a good hug.
Yeah.
If they
How's
don't care, they're
Granny?
not gonna give you a good hug.
Granny.
We got
Granny?
Granny in the chat.
Do you want to come in, Granny? Let me know if you have time.
Granny,
I'll
come
shoot you a
in.
link.
We love Granny.
Here, I'll just throw it in here.
Yes.
But I don't want anybody coming in here and interrupting and trying to take over my stream, math pig.
What an asshole.
I know he's
Oh,
such
yeah.
a dick. I love him though. I love that guy.
I'm trying to decide if I want to get up and make food or not.
Not just a dick, but a ginger dick.
The worst kind.
He's a mankini dick. Just
We got
hung in a hammock.
Granny's gonna come in. Granny's gonna come in 5.
Yes,
Did
excellent.
Heather say bye and I just didn't hear
No,
her?
I think she ended her she was trying to charge her phone on her wireless.
Oh.
It might have died.
Mhm.
Because she didn't text me. I think her phone died. So
Makes sense.
well, now you guys have like Ben said, you guys have a face, and now it's not like the high school. Sure, you have a girlfriend somewhere. You guys have all seen her.
Yeah, but
So she
she's
is real.
adorable.
She's fucking beautiful, and she's
I
like
love
this.
her.
She's like this tall. It's perfect. She just fits right against my chest.
That's so
Amazing.
cute.
Oh my god, I'm fucking like I am smitten. I am smitten.
Absolutely.
We can tell.
Yes,
We can tell.
Like, have you seen your own face when you talk about her?
You know
Like,
what?
It is as obvious gets.
You know what I did when I got home? My landlord texted me on my way home and said, "You have mail." And I'm like, "Cool, I'll stop by. So I have some news." Because I just talked to them yesterday and told them what had transpired with our conversation on Saturday
Yeah.
night, where she gently kind of
All
let me
the
down,
things,
but never
yeah.
really said no. And I was so confused. So I'm glowing ox. Oh, that's for pregnant women, man. Can't you just say I look handsome? Anyways, so you know, I went through all that and I talked to them about it yesterday, and my brother was there, and I was like, this is the way it is. I guess maybe I'll just wait. Maybe eventually she'll have feelings for me. Well, it turns out it's been like 3 weeks or a month, and she's just hasn't said anything because she's my boss. And I said, well, I think we're mature enough to separate church and state and be like at work and not at work. So
Yeah, I saw this from a mile away because like neither one of them were acting normal with each other.
well, was
like-
it all the food she kept making me and
Well,
nobody
she
else?
kept making you food, and y'all were like,
Yes.
y'all were the way you talked about her, and like then she showed up in my Twitch chat, and it's like things were happening. That's like this is either like it's one of two things. It was either there's something going on between the two of you that's like more than friends, or she still viewed you as one of her girlfriends.
Yeah, well, that's what I was afraid
because
of.
you don't do weird things like that with your dude friends, and that's why
No.
B and I were talking about like the weird like things with food and like your dude friends versus your girlfriend, because like
Right.
girlfriends like would do that kind of stuff for each other like frequently. That's how they interact, but like dude friends don't do that.
Yeah, because they have that maternal. Oh, Mouty's here. They have that maternal instinct. You know, especially women that have had children. They have that. They just have that maternal instinct to do that, and so. Well, actually, that's not even true because Michelle at work doesn't have any kids, and she is all about like she'll go to the store and buy a whole bunch of like vegetables and stuff and dip and cheese, and she'll go over there and cut it all up and lay out like a spread so we can just eat while we're working and we don't have to. Like,
It's just like a cultural thing. Like it's
Yeah.
a weird like girl culture.
oh my
that-
God, it's Kelly. Hi.
Hello,
How are you,
Granny!
I'm good. How are you, sweetheart?
Granny.
I'm fine.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Good to see you. You look good. Everything going good?
Yep. And hello, Ben. Hello, Catnip. Hello, Jenny.
Hi.
And the other
hi,
one
hi.
is Mouty. That's Mouty.
And Mouty. Hello, Mouty.
There he is. That's my buddy. That's my brother from another mother.
There we go.
I love that guy. He's a good dude.
I'll
How's
be back.
everyone
I think
tonight?
I'm gonna go make ramen.
Go make ramen. We'll see you in a bit. So Granny, what's been new with you? What have you been doing besides amazing streaming content?
Some
As
fun
if that's not enough.
productions.
I know, right?
The productions take more time of my time than my streaming does.
Yeah.
The latest production was a response to Alan Parr being a misogynist. And then before that, A couple of weeks ago, I did a response to an interview between William Lane Craig and Sean McDowell, where William Lane Craig drops the bombshell that Genesis 1 through 11 is all mytho-history, that none of it is to be taken literally. And I got turned on to this when I saw a 1-minute video put out by Pine Creek, where he shows Sean McDowell's reaction to hearing this from William Lane Craig. And Sean McDowell looks like he's going to cry.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
Wait a second. Is Sean McDowell related to Josh McDowell?
Yes, he's his son.
Oh, goodness.
And so, yeah, I did the response, but in it, he also talks about how, well, he wrote a book that's coming out next month. It's called A Quest for the Historical Adam. And he's trying to reconcile the Genesis story with what we know from science. And
okay.
He's trying to find a historical progenitor for all of humanity. And from what he was studying from science, you've got to go back at least 250,000 years. So he came up with this hypothesis that the historical Adam and Eve were Homo heidelbergensis.
Oh.
So I got Erica Gutsick-Gibbon to help me do part 2 to that one. The first one I was addressing mostly, entirely the theology that of the discovery, that this is all myth. And in then part 2, I discussed with Erica the science of, could Homo heidelbergensis really be the progenitors of the human race?
Wow. That's some
sounds
deep
awesome.
shit. What day did you do that on? So everybody can go, find that for me and put it in the chat, please.
Well, the
was
interview with Erica is not out yet. I did my portion of that video last week, and I did the interview with Erica, I think last Thursday, but because I didn't have enough time to get that ready and release in time, I did the Alan Parr video and released that one this last week.
Yeah.
Just a few days ago. And then this week, the interview with Erica will come out.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. Good. And it was that, what day are you doing those on now? So everybody knows, which day of the week are you doing? Are you using 2 days a week or one?
Well, okay. I do a stream on Wednesdays at 7.
Yeah, so don't go to that one because I'm streaming. Go ahead, Granny. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You know what? Granny puts out amazing content. I would never be offended if you guys want to go over and watch her and then come back over later. That wouldn't offend me a bit. She's great.
This week it's going to be Purple and Jenny and Bionic Dance.
Oh,
and
nice.
And we're just doing kind of an open mic night. I kind of wanted to talk about LGB Alliance, which I think will probably end up being one of the major topics. Bionic Dance said she really didn't know about them. So I didn't want to make that the title topic.
I haven't seen Bionic in forever. They doing all right? They doing well?
Yes.
Yeah, Kate's doing great. I just talked to her Sunday. I was on the Lavender Ladies stream, and Catnip comes over and goes, "You're supposed to be playing D&D." I forgot we were starting an hour early. I didn't even know what time it was. I had taken a nap. I woke up fuzzy headed, and then my phone started blowing up with lots of good news, and I was just totally not aware of my surroundings. My brother says Adam and Eve could be Homo heidelbergensis.
Bergensis, yeah.
Okay, just throw out the Bible where it reads God started with that. There you go. And that's coming from a theist, you guys. It's true. There's a lot of bullshit going around. Don't forget Eve was the second woman. Eve was the second woman?
Lilith.
Yeah, Lilith was the first.
Oh, that's right. Yep, you're right. Yep. Crazy shit, folks. Crazy shit. But actually, if you guys go back and look at all those begots and go back to the Greek lexicon, you know what all the begots of all the male and female names are? It means son and daughter and son and daughter and son and daughter and son and daughter. That's what it fucking means. I know because my brother already went back and did it and I read it. It's a bunch of sons and daughters.
Adam was player 0001 in the first Squid Game.
You know, I haven't even watched that yet. Has anybody watched that?
I
yet
have.
to watch it.
I'm just
Want to.
who said I have? Kelly, you have?
Mhm.
Huh. What do you think of it?
The first episode, I was kind of because the protagonist is not a very likable person. But I overall, I thought it was really quite good. You
Really?
know, when you really get into it. Although at the very end, I was really disappointed with some of the answers they had and with the way they left it. But I think
Okay.
it did have some good social commentary.
Really?
Mhm.
Huh.
I haven't watched it yet because I know I would really get into it. Like just knowing the context of the story and stuff. Like I would absolutely get into it. And I'm on a surgery rotation right now, so I should not.
Yeah.
I was logging into StreamYard and missed what we're talking about. What show?
Squid Game.
Squid Game.
When I watched the first episode, I did not want to watch the second episode right away. I said, "Yeah, this was some pretty heavy stuff, and I need to process this." It was just a bit too much blood and gore for me to handle in one night. But you know, then I watched the second episode, and the second episode isn't anywhere near as gory as the first one. And I was like, "Oh, I could have watched those two in a row."
Huh. Yeah, I haven't, you know, honestly, I just haven't had a chance to even what's going on here? Holy spackle. Man, I'm just getting all the fucking heavy hitters in tonight, folks. That's right. Bowdy, you better show your face. You better keep up, buddy.
Hey man, I'm doing my best.
Mr. Mountie,
Cat.
one of my faves. How are you doing?
All right, Holy, how about you? You done with vacation now?
I did.
Back?
I adventured, I'll be vague, adventured in the great Pacific Northwest, and I got to play with alpacas, and they're beautiful, and I want to take them all home.
You were kind of freaked out about flying though. How did that go?
I was more freaked out about not plane crashing or anything, but that Southwest was canceling flights like crazy, and I was like, oh my gosh, do I just cancel my flight, take a financial loss, and then just jump to like another airline like Alaska? What do I do? And then I decided to ride it out. Everything went good.
Good.
So
Excellent.
Yeah.
You feel
I got good news
energized?
yes and no. That's a long story. It's family, so yes and no.
I feel you. My rule of thumb is I live close enough to my family to make them happy and far enough away to make me happy.
Yeah, that's a good
There you
to
go.
visit.
There you go.
And then go back.
My family, we don't talk. Me and my family, as big as we are, we don't talk a lot. But like in our family, like if someone calls you, you're like, oh my God, what's wrong? You know, nobody calls anybody because there's so many of us. And we have 7 kids. Almost like most of us have kids, more than one. I'm like one of the few that only had one. And then you have all of those kids. My brother married a woman. He had 1 kid. She had 7 kids. They're all grown. And now they're adopting 4 kids at the age of 60 and 61.
Wow.
61 and 60 and 61. He's retired. He was like 32-year sergeant at a prison, and he retired from the state. And so like there's just kids everywhere now. All of the kids that we all had, they are all having kids. I don't even know how big our family is now. I haven't even sat down and counted. The last time I counted just the immediate, just blood immediate, I had 20 people. And that's just from us 7 kids.
So
like
my mom is the second oldest of 9, and my cousins and distant cousins come in waves. And if I call my mother without texting her first, she'll pick up the phone and say, "What's the matter?"
What's the matter?
What's the matter?
What's the matter?
What's wrong? Nothing. I'm just calling you, Mom.
I just watched Moonstruck for the first time. How true to Italian?
Share?
Yeah, how true to Italian culture is that?
It depends on what part of the East Coast.
There's lots of yelling.
I mean, it is true.
But
like
they're happy
yelling. I'm just Italian.
my mom's side is Italian, and it really depends on where they live and stuff. I mean, we didn't have a lot of interaction.
This was
with
Manhattan.
them, honestly.
Manhattan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Manhattan Italian. You looking at me? What, you got a problem with me? Huh?
So like the
Huh?
rule of thumb in our house was, so since my mom was the second eldest, she was the matriarch of the family, especially when my grandparents passed away. So Sunday after dinner, and we all had spaghetti dinner on Sundays, we'd all congregate at my house for Entenmann's coffee cake and coffee. Are you guys familiar with Entenmann's as a brand?
Oh,
Yeah. I actually think that sounds delicious.
a crumb cake. Yeah, there would always be Entenmann's, crumb cake, coffee, and 8 Italian women screaming at each other. The rules of the game are the loudest wins.
So try that in the hang.
Why do like some of the coolest people I know all turn out to be Mormons?
Really?
What?
You seem upset with that realization.
I'm upset with it because like I just found out one of my friends. Well, I mean, okay, I'm not surprised because like a lot of people in Arizona are Mormons. We have an incredibly high population of Mormons. But like people in my med school class that I didn't know were Mormon or Mormon.
Oh.
I'm like, why? You were so cool. I mean, he's still a cool person, but
But do they have the Mormon teeth? You know about that, right? Mormons have perfect teeth and they look like chiclets. like it's amazing.
Like
And they have magic underwear.
Like remember the Osmond brothers?
I mean, I bet they do. I've never seen their magic underwear, so I wouldn't know.
I
but-
had this theory because I was like, every Mormon I know has amazing teeth, and it just like ding.
They all have amazing teeth and amazing hair.
And so I looked it up, and it's a thing. Like people are like, yeah, Mormons have great teeth because they don't do this and they don't do that. I'm like, okay.
Well, that's a shitty life. I'd rather have stained teeth and put veneers on them
No
than not have fun.
smoking,
I'll
no
take my fucked
caffeine.
up teeth any day.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
There you go, Mouty.
I mean, I would just take the ability to critically think about my beliefs. You know, that's really
Oh,
the thing I
cutting
care
to the
about.
core of it. Ben.
Cutting to the core of the
Ben
issue.
don't-
Look,
Ben
Ben,
playing
Ben,
around,
you
bro.
could be
Oh.
a god of one of the planets and get a few wives that will meet you in the veil.
I'd
and you
love
can
someone
choose
to
them or leave
demonstrate
them.
that that would happen.
And then you guys can have spirit babies, and it'll be amazing.
Is that like an offshoot of Muppet Babies, Spirit Babies? Like the way that show would go. I got good news to the job front today.
What was the deal? What was the deal in the 80s where everything was babies? There was Muppet Babies and Scrappy Doo and like
Scrappy Doo's the
everything had a
worst.
baby
Muppet
version.
Babies was legit.
Scrappy Doo ruined Scooby Doo.
Thank you.
Absolutely ruined Scooby Doo.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
That was
nobody
one
likes
of
Scrappy
my
Doo.
favorite childhood cartoons until he came
Me
along.
too. And then they do that Scrappy Doo thing, and I was like, well,
Yeah.
this is shit. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I felt the
just
same way.
ruined it
I felt like it
altogether.
was ruined after that. Yep.
Yeah, he's the Jar Jar Binks of Scooby Doo.
Oh, he's worse than Jar Jar Binks.
No,
He is.
It's hard to
He
get
is.
worse than Jar
I would need an I would need
No,
an
it isn't.
argument for that.
What? Oh, well, there's
So-
fan theory that Jar Jar Binks was really a Sith and it kind of redeems Jar Jar. You don't have that for Scrappy.
Oh,
The Book of Mormon is a great play. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
No, it is a great play. The musical's fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
It's really
Oh,
inappropriate.
I've never watched
It's
it.
funny.
And really not Mormon.
And Mormons
Although
have
the
taken
Mormon
it in
church
good
is okay
stride.
with it.
yeah, the church
Oh,
loves it.
initially,
Like one of the
initially
best
they were really mad
advertisements.
about it.
Yeah.
Initially, they were really mad about it.
No, they've taken it in pretty good stride. They've learned to kind of laugh. Oh, like, okay, I see what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
That's how I feel about
the
it.
the musical was written by the people who wrote South Park.
Oh my
The whole
god, are you
thing.
kidding me?
The whole thing was written
Yeah.
by Trey.
Why have I
Parker
not
and,
seen this?
Why have you not seen this? It's
I
hilarious.
don't know, but I'm very sad right now. I'm writing it down. I gotta write
Just,
here.
just go on YouTube. You'll find a version of it there somewhere.
I
I
gotta
want
put
to see
a note in
V
my
watch
phone.
that live.
I want to see it live. I haven't seen it live
Mormon.
yet. I was going to see it live, and then COVID happened, so I didn't.
Okay, it's in my notes. I'll never forget now. I mean, I'll forget, but my notes won't. So that's good.
Even just go listen to the soundtrack. It's amazing.
Maybe the magic underwear is Victoria's Secret.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Lift your fist up to the sky and say,
You're
Hasa Abowe.
It's Hasa Diga Ibawai. That's the phrase.
Oh,
Outside DK.
almost had it all.
That means nothing to me.
It means nothing, and they probably made it up. But it's supposed to mean "fuck you, God." So
Okay. Oh, that's from the
According
Book of
to the
Mormon.
song.
Yeah.
Heather asked if you were eating Doritos before your meal, and I said yes, he was.
yeah, because I'm waiting for the roast to finish up. It's not done yet.
What kind of roast?
Yours is pot roast.
All right, crock potting it. Crock pot. Oh my God, crock potting it.
Yeah, I
or
have an
just ovening it.
Instapot.
Instapot. Oh, you're fancy.
Yeah. I love my
For a
Instapot.
second, he said
Well,
crock pocketing
I
it.
mean,
He's a doctor.
He's
Of
gonna
course
be a
he's
doctor.
fancy.
He has to be fancy. Cat alert. That's what is that? 5?
Well, I
You
just
guys
don't
counting
have
in the
time
chat?
to like cook for myself except for like slow cooking. So I just because I'm on YouTube all the time now. So I just like cook things in the background and then
That's
I
what's
pull
up.
it out when it's done. I mean, like it's the best way to cook when
I
I don't
agree.
want to stand in the kitchen all day.
Yeah, my brother hates the crock pot because his argument is when you cook something in a crock pot, everything tastes the same. And I'm like, yeah, that's the goal. Also, you don't have to look at it for 6 hours. You know, as somebody who likes to cook, being able to set it and forget it is one of the most delicious things. And if it's a stew, I'm not upset if my peas taste like the carrots, taste like the potatoes, taste like the meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And stews are nice because like I'm actually making a stew this week too because then I can just throw everything in a pot and then I have
Yes.
all my nutritional groups met.
Yes.
So it's like I don't have to worry about supplementing with anything. Like I got my meat, I got my carbs, I got my veggies. Like
It's
I got
like
everything there.
it's like a good garbage bowl. It's like a legit good garbage bowl if you know how to make it right.
I had chili today. That was pretty.
You know, I was about to say, Ollie, you know what I like to do in the wintertime is I will I have a mini crock pot and I'll put it on the highest setting.
Mm.
And I mean the lowest setting, highest, you know, and just let it sit all day. And then when I come home, I have like 2 big ass bowls because I have the mini crock pot. So I have 2 big ass bowls of fucking chili and I'm good. I could eat that for 2 days. I just take the thing out once it cools, throw it in the fridge, put it back in. When I get home, turn it on high the next day and let it sit for like an hour and it's fucking hot and I'm good to go.
And then the house smells like it. And it's
I'm under the impression that Ollie has a specific chili recipe. I have a feeling you look
this
like
was Mom's chili today. This was
Mom's
leftover
chili?
Mom's chili. Yeah.
Okay.
I brought it home
All right.
the other day and I reheated it for lunch and supper today and it was so good. Because
I always make
chili.
vegetarian chili.
Well, I find the best thing about chili is like the second and third and fourth time you heat it up,
always
it just keeps getting better and better.
Why do you think
and
Italian food's so good, man? You know what
Oh,
it
yeah.
is all the seasonings get into everything. Because
Yeah.
when you
Cook
first
it
cook it,
once.
it's really just in like the tomatoey sauce.
Yeah.
But then once you
Depends on
let
how long you
it
cook
sit,
it.
well, but still, even I'm telling you, anything with the tomato sauce with spices in it, and I know this from being Italian, it's always better the next day.
Always.
My mom
Yep.
used to make a big ass sauce pot. She had a sauce pot like this big. Well, I was little; it might not really be that big. But
No, mine's about that big. Mine's about that big.
I mean, there was 8 people in the house. It probably was that big. But she would like make a whole batch of it, and then she would use it over 2 or 3 days. And the third day she used that shit, it was the best fucking spaghetti in the world. Everything was just infused perfectly, and and she would like simmer her sauce for like hours, like
Always,
low simmer for hours
Good.
until all that fucking juice wore off. And no, don't put a cup of sugar in your goddamn spaghetti
Never.
sauce.
Whoa,
You're
what?
wrong. Throw it in the trash if you do that.
Who does
All you
that?
need is like
Who puts
all
sugar
you
in
need is
spaghetti
one
sauce?
tablespoon.
I
One
don't even put
tablespoon.
that
Oh
in.
no, not
I don't
even.
put any. I
If
don't
you
use
want
any at
to,
all.
If you want sweetness,
wait, I'm talking. If you can't stand the acid and you need to tamp it down a little bit, big pot, 1 tablespoon. Little pot, pinch. You don't need a lot. And
I've
personally,
heard-
I would never put sugar in my goddamn red
I've heard
sauce,
2
but some people
secrets. 2 secrets to if you want to add sweetness to your gravy is carrots instead of sugar. And somebody told me, and I never tried this, to drop a raw egg in your gravy, and that contributes a sweetness to it. I've never tried this, and I don't trust it, and that's why I haven't tried it. But I have heard it.
do. Why would
I
you
would
want to fuck with the
rather-
gravy?
I
What
would
about
rather
grape?
put sugar in it than an egg or carrots. Eggs and carrots do not belong in my pasta sauce.
Oh,
What if it's
absolutely.
brown
Well, I start
sugar?
with a mirror
Oh.
pot. I do carrots, onions, and what's the other one?
One of the
Oh.
best pasta sauces I ever had. It was a recipe we got from a book from the library on Oh, I'm trying to remember the actress's name. Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Audrey Hepburn.
Thank you. It was Audrey Hepburn's favorite dish, and it was a pasta sauce. All it is chopped tomatoes and carrots and celery and garlic.
Yeah.
And just, put that together. And that's it. Nothing else. And put that over your pot. It is fantastic.
Stool.
I just want to say, hold on. I have a disclaimer really quick. I have 10 people in here.
Wait, there's someone
And
named
I'm just,
Stool?
I'm just going to let all of you know if Heather wants to come back in, one of you guys might need a ditch for me because I'm letting her back in. Yes, I'm being totally biased and partial and blame favors. Yes, I fucking am.
You're allowed. True
So
channel.
I'm looking at.
You guys are here all the time. This is the first time she ever came on my channel. So,
I'm looking at.
Jenny, I didn't mean you. God damn, I was gonna pick. I was gonna pick Ollie because he doesn't care.
I got
He'll
you,
just sit in
Kyle.
the chat and get high.
Stool, I saw your comment on Purple's thing asking for Australians
Thanks,
to
B.
join the stream, and then
I
Stool
feel the
says
love.
Australians are not to be trusted because pineapple. And so now I'm reading that thread. And now I don't know what I'm doing with my night anymore.
Because of pineapple.
Stool, how are you, buddy?
Quiet.
I think I might not
look
be
frozen.
working. I
No,
think
you're
I'm
working.
broken.
No, we can hear you, but you are really like
Yeah,
your video's laggy. Just
Yeah.
icon if you want, buddy, but we can hear you fine.
That's weird. I can fix it. I'll attend to that as you carry on talking about food. Ben, could you talk about your what's in your little pot, please?
How about
Whilst
I
I-
just go grab the food that's in the little pot and I'll come back.
There it
I will
is.
attend to matters here of a technical nature, and you guys carry on talking about food for a minute.
Well, I'm just thinking back to my spaghetti sauce that I used to make when I was drinking. Just before I'd mix the spaghetti sauce in with the noodles, I'd add like a half a cup to a cup of vodka to it. Mix that into the sauce first and then put that into the noodles. I got to tell you, there were some bites of that spaghetti sauce that had bite.
That's why it's important to simmer stuff and cook it so the flavor gets everywhere. That's
Yeah,
why
but
those
you don't want to
those
cook. You don't want
infusing
to cook alcohol
pouches,
though.
those infusing
Right.
pouches are so cool that they use like on those cooking shows and shit. They're expensive as fuck, but they're
If you want the alcohol to still have a kick, though, you can't cook it for any length of time because it'll just boil all the alcohol right out of it. So,
well, yeah. You put alcohol in for the flavor, not for the properties.
oh no,
like if you put,
no.
If you have like
I
if
was
you
drinking
sauteed
then.
stuff in a pan and you want to pull everything out of the pan, you put a little wine in it, and
Yeah.
it'll
Oh, yeah, that's
it'll
different.
deglaze the pan, and then you just take all of that and throw it in. Like that's how I do my roast. I'll wrap it up if it's not already wrapped. I sear all the sides of it. You bathe it in salt and pepper and everything. You sear all the sides of it. You set it in your crock pot or cooker or however you're gonna, and then you throw wine in that and you just deglaze all that.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to like do that and then
I'm fucking hungry.
cook your onions and your garlic and all that stuff. Anything you need sauteed, do that all in with that. And then when you deglaze that pan, you're getting all that flavor of the meat and the salt and pepper and the veggie or the onions and stuff. And then you're just putting that in on top. And the wine will really help the see, I know how to fucking cook. The wine will really help the meat become very tender as well. So it will help. It will help with that as well.
Yeah, that wasn't the point of why I was saying I added vodka to my spaghetti sauce, though. I was drinking at the time. I wanted the alcohol.
1 for the sauce, 2 for me.
Yeah,
3
that's
for the
right.
sauce, 4 for me.
This is years ago, though. I don't drink like that anymore. Matter of fact, I really don't drink. So,
Good for you.
although my birthday, first of the month there, I got drunk for the first time in maybe 3, 4, 5 years. I don't remember.
Really?
Oh,
I
yeah,
got drunk for
pretty
the first time with Ben on Friday night. My God, Ben, I was smoking and drinking and I was toast. He left and didn't come back. And I was like, dude, I got to go to bed. I'm done. I was done. I barely ever drink anymore. I was fucking done.
I was there for that. That was such a
Yay!
good time.
You look like you're caught up,
Yep.
Mr. Wiggly Fingers.
I'm a fixer.
With his spatula hands.
Yes, this is I. My bloody machine is being a real penis. It's driving me mad.
I hate it when things turn into penises.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Everything's
unfortunate.
coming up
Unless it's on
penises.
me, but that's different. Yeah,
It's,
no,
uh,
Maya, she was on the panel at the very beginning, and she's gonna try to come back. She's trying to get her phone to charge. So, yeah, so you guys can all meet her. I want everybody to meet her. I'm excited. I don't think this one's gonna go away anytime soon. Yes, it's day one. I know. I'm not a child. I know what I'm doing. Although I feel like I'm 18, so
You're so giddy.
like I'm like a fucking 18-year-old kid. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you won't believe this shit. You know what I did when I got home from work? So I stopped by my landlord's, right? And I went to get the mail, updated my landlord on what was going on in my life because we had just talked the day before, where the day after, she had kind of said nothing and kind of no. And so I went back and I was like, dude, I've got to tell you, because he's like, you got mail. And I'm like, I got to tell you this. So I go over there and his little 3-year-old boy's running around and he's got the baby, the 7-month-old baby. They're holding her and in the hammock and stuff. And the little boy wanted to play. So I was running around the yard with the 3-year-old, like, we had a little thing of water this big and we were grabbing handfuls and throwing at each other. And he missed me every time, but he was soaked and he just took off his pants and he was just running around in circles, just having a good time with everything hanging out. Cause you're 3, you can do that. Do what you can. But yeah, it was a lot. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like,
Pants off.
I didn't even sleep last night and I could just stay up for 2 more days. I have enough energy for like 3 fucking 17-year-old boys right now.
It's a good feeling. Ain't no shame in that game. Enjoy it. Soak it up.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I am. Before she gets sick of me and ditches me.
I'm pretty sure.
It looks good, Ben.
That looks awesome.
10 out of 10, Ben.
Wait a minute. Hold it up there good. Fuck no. You ain't sharing, bitch. You ain't. No, I'm kidding. I totally kicked you, Ben.
I know you did. I thought you were gonna make me big for a second.
No.
with my pot roast and my potatoes. Hey, Stool. Hey, Stool, have you seen my potatoes?
I saw them. I actually had
There's
a good
one
sniff.
potato.
I had a good sniff of them actually.
Okay, yeah.
Very aromatic.
She's coming back. Phone charged. Anyways,
You need someone drop out?
No. Well, Jenny left, but her phone is. I know why she left, because her phone is funky, and when we get more than like 6 people on the stream, she had. Yeah, I'm totally putting you up top. Heather.
Yeah.
Say hi to everybody. You met Catnip. You got Granny over there and Stool's down below me, and we just call him the biggest pain in the ass, but he's funny as hell and he's totally sarcastic. And the one below you is Olive, and then you got Holy Spackle, and then Ollie and Mouty's down at the bottom, my Italian brother, and then Ben's down there eating over there in a corner by himself.
Ben.
Little Jack Horner.
With the Doritos, Ben.
It's not Doritos anymore.
No. He's got the stew now.
What kind of
pot roast?
That looks pretty good, Ben.
Oh, pot roast is so
I
good.
don't think I've ever been on a stream where Ben wasn't eating at some point.
Ooh, Heather, I'll cook you a pot roast.
I am on
I know how to make a
testosterone.
really good one.
No,
I
pot
was
roast
just
is
talking
amazing.
about
The only
cooking
time he
it.
has to eat is when he's on YouTube.
That's right.
Yeah, for real though.
Well, because
And
he's
I'm on
either
testosterone.
working, studying, or he's on YouTube, so he eats on YouTube. Yeah, that's true.
And I'm on testosterone, and my dose just got increased this week, so I'm extra puberty now. So
Meat!
I'm eating more.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
meat!
so what does that do to your appetite then? Like, I'm sure that you've talked about this a million
Skyrockets.
times. Yeah. So you're
Skyrockets.
always hungry.
Yeah, like all the time.
See, I don't have to worry about that. I'm losing weight because I'm on Adderall, and it has totally killed my appetite. It's great.
It's
I'm
good
not
that
going on.
I don't
I'm not
eat
going on
any
any
junk
weight.
food. I don't eat any junk food anymore. I just don't. It's great.
See, I'm not going on any weight loss while I'm just starting on the testosterone and in an
saw
anabolic
that.
phase. Like,
Yeah.
I'm taking advantage of this anabolic phase right now.
And so, what is it doing to your body composition? Are you gaining it in more places?
I'm
than
gaining
others?
some muscle, yeah. Although the muscle like really
sorry.
becomes noticeable later on, but like my shoulders are more broad than they were before.
And are you doing
and-
resistance training as well?
I lift
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have time to lift?
when I can.
Okay.
I don't have as much time right now
I know how
to.
busy you are. I'm like, I felt like an idiot asking, "Oh, you have time for this thing?" No, you
It's
don't.
like
Well, I
every other Saturday morning for 2 hours, he can go lift and do. Oh my
Well,
God,
I don't have time
I lost the word.
I don't have time for jujitsu right now.
Jiu-jitsu. Thank you.
I'm
I don't
just
have time
amazed
for-
you're
I
not
don't have time.
exhausted with all that you do. Because I
am.
yeah.
I am though.
Not get it twisted.
So
Caffeine.
real quick, because I want everybody to know who Heather is. Heather, you want to tell everybody like when you went to school and what you're doing now and the
Well, I
different
got questions.
places you have practiced under and stuff.
Oh, well, I finished PA school in 2003, and then I had my first baby when I was 35, second baby when I was 37. I've been practicing 19 years. I did GYN surgery for 6 years and plastic surgery for 2 years. But I did family practice the whole time because I love it.
Because she loves it so much, she has 4,800 patients. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. And they beat down the door, and I go, no. And she says yes. And I go, no, Heather, no.
What does
Yeah.
OGW stand for?
Well, I thought it was my usual acronym is OMOG, O Mother of Greatness, because when I was teaching my kids how to say please and thank you, I said, "Oh, Mother of Greatness" at the end of everything. So they would say, "Can I have some water?" And I'd say, "Oh, Mother of Greatness." And so I have a license plate that says OMOG. And I thought that Beck had given me the acronym "Oh, Great Woman," but that I got it wrong.
I actually gave you OHOW, which is a one hell of a woman. But you know, I like one great woman. I like.
I was close. I was close. Yeah, and GYN surgery was my favorite for sure because I got to do C-sections and hysterectomies and bladder lifts and AMP repairs and
Yeah, all that stuff is great. Like from my side of it, it's less fun because like if I committed to that, that's the only thing I'm committing to. Like from the PA side, you can move around specialties, but like I can't see myself with one organ system for the rest of my life and never being able to do anything else.
No, nor should you, because you are more talented, and the depth and the breadth of what you know is so much more than one scope. So go with that instinct, because I don't know, Dr. Pan, I think you're pretty amazing. I think you're great.
She says that I'm just newly taking my boards, so it's recent for me. It's recency.
I had to take propanolol for my second boards because I fucking have the worst test anxiety on the planet. So I would take like 5 milligrams of propanolol and drive down to Albuquerque and like then take the other half and then study in the parking lot. And my boards were 7 hours long. And propanolol is a good thing.
It saved me. I passed the test because of modern medicine. For modern medicine.
I added 300 points to my boards. I added 300 points when I took propanolol. So if you need some,
I don't have test anxiety though.
I do.
You're amazing.
See, the thing is, like, I mean, I might have a little bit of anxiety before the test, but I can walk into the test and I just go into competition mode. I just shut everything else out and I'm in it. And then I'm done. And then I'm like, what just happened? I have no clue what just happened. But like the whole time I'm in there, like I have incredible clarity of what I'm doing. So yeah, I don't have that.
That's good.
I'm also a really good test taker. I would always just I would sit down and say, if I was the prof, what questions would I write? And the questions that I write are always much harder than what end up on the actual test.
Yeah, that's not the case with the medical boards.
No,
I get that.
Or
totally
even with
that.
even with the shelf exams, like, but they've written some mean stuff. But it's
I love
of
the
fun.
questions that are like D is both A and B are true, and E is both A and F are true.
They don't do that a lot on like for the medical boards. The questions are like the answer choices are all like so similar, and they're the things that you would pick for a multitude of other reasons. Like they know that they're leading you down certain distracting pathways.
Yeah.
And so all of the answers are potentially correct answers.
Yes, I hate that. I need propanolol for that.
My favorite test question ever was a Family Circus comic where Jeffy says, Dolly promised me $1 million if I stand on my head, and I did, and she won't pay me. And the question was, discuss the contract ramifications.
Oh. Oh,
It was a law test. I have a law
did they
degree.
sign things? We have to know if there's a signature, right?
Well, the first major issue is both parties are minors, and minors can't enter into contracts.
Yeah, say they can't. How could you do a legally binding contract between minors, anyways?
Right. Second
Right.
issue is consideration. She promised that she would give it to him, but she didn't receive anything in return except that you stood on your head. Is that really consideration?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You went legal on us, Granny. We're just a bunch of medical heads over here. We don't know what to do with that.
But I thought that was so creative to use a comic strip as a test.
No,
question.
that's great though. I mean, because
Very
that can really
creative.
screw with you. Yeah, you still have to dig it apart. Yeah, absolutely. It's still a puzzle.
I bet my sister when
Absolutely.
she was 9 years old, I bet her $16 million that she would like mayonnaise by the time she was 17 years old. And she doesn't like mayonnaise. And so I owe her a lot of money.
$1 million.
Hope she's
old
not
are you?
expecting you to pay off until you win the lottery.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope you're getting the scratch tickets.
You guys are ridiculous. I swear to God. Holy Spackle, how was your trip?
It was, it's beautiful in the Pacific Northwest. It is beautiful. If
Oh, is that where you
like
were?
Mountains, yeah. If you like mountains and trees
Yeah.
and wolves and alpacas and
Catnip.
squirrels
You need one of
everywhere, like
these.
millions of squirrels, it's great. But it's my family can be challenging. I love them, but they're all major Trumpsters, and we'll just say that they're alt Chick-fil-A, if that makes sense.
Oh,
They actually think Chick-fil-A is liberal.
What?
Oh, that'd be
And
true.
they are not going to Chick-fil-A because it's liberal.
What?
Because Chick-fil-A made 2 concessions to the LGBT community and to the Black community, and they were
Well,
going
Well,
off
they
on it, and I
had
was
to
just like,
because they were being freaking phobes and assholes.
It's almost worse though what Chick-fil-A did, because they're like, yeah, no, we support the LGBT community, and then they like went back on that again. So like they were like homophobic and transphobic, and then they're like, no, actually we're not, and then they're like, no, just kidding, we are. So like it's even worse because now you're just not being honest about it. So
And
like,
it all started with 2 gay guys kissing in the fucking dining room of a Chick-fil-A. Like seriously, guys.
yeah. So
Seriously.
I've been like trying to avoid confrontation and be like, so those alpacas. But then I have been pushed to be like, I disagree, this is why. And I hate being pushed into the corner because I've had it go badly, and so like
Right.
at a certain point, like it feels immoral to not say something. So
Right.
like I say something, and then it's just like, how do I say something without getting into a brawl? And it is really difficult. And I've asked a lot of questions to a lot of people, like, how do you deal with your family that has some ideas about anti-vax stuff, or
Right.
Chick-fil-A or whatever, and how do you talk to these people? And because you don't, I mean, it might be easier for some people to cut off their family and be like, I don't love you, but like, I can't do that. It's not in me to do that.
I can't do it either. And honestly, I have a brother who lives over in, not the brother you guys know, different brother. And oh, you're sideways. Okay, there you go.
Welcome back.
But my brother who lives over in Iowa is so mad that part of my family voted for Trump that he will not speak to them. And I'm like, dude, not everybody's going to go the way we want it to. Just because you're gay and I'm trans doesn't mean the whole family feels like that. And they were really doing what they thought was best because we talked about it and they really thought that was the best thing to do. They thought a businessman was going to help the U.S. All of them did. And by the way, everybody in my family is also vaccinated. So they're not totally crazy, just a little crazy. Ouch, Heather. That hurt.
So it's a tough call because like you want to be like, how do we love each other in a way that's not a battlegrounds, right? Like sometimes I feel like, and I hate being really dramatic, but sometimes it feels like brother against brother, like the Civil War, where it's like your brother just joined the Union Army, you know, or the Confederacy, and like you're like, whoa, like what's going on here? Or the Baptists just burnt down the Methodist church because the Methodists were Union, and you're just like, whoa, like, and it used to. Maybe I'm delusional, but it used to not be as bad. And so is it
There you go.
algorithms and the social media that's making it worse?
Oh
Or
no, I'm sure.
is
Well,
it
it's
actually
all
worse?
the worst part about all of it is just spread of misinformation. That's the bottom line. Like
But
people just want it. They don't investigate anything. It's like my brother says. If you're gonna go and you're trying to prove something right, try to prove yourself wrong. And don't stop when you find out you're right. Keep going. Because there's other information out there. Go until you reach the bottom of the barrel and you hit the end, and then this is what you have.
even when you
And you're
put
either
in
right or you're wrong.
neutral, even
But-
when you put in neutral search terms in Google, you
Yeah.
will get search terms based on your algorithm.
So also, I just read this earlier today. Like, there's documents coming out from like Facebook and Google and all this happy horse shit. One of the employees started a random account in like 2000 whatever as like a middle-aged housewife from Middle America, and within 2 or 3 years, without touching that account,
Yeah.
you know, like YouTube was offering like QAnon, Proud Boy kind of suggestions because the algorithm leans right. For people in the left bubble, they don't get a lot of Alex Jones and shit. For people in the
Right.
center that want a little bit of everything, the algorithm pushes them towards the more dramatic. You know, of course, look at it from the company's perspective. The longer eyes are on them, the better. Well, what keeps eyes on them? All right, now we're getting into psychology. If it bleeds, it leads. The things that are shocking, the things that are outrage generating, the things that are clickbaity. Well, those aren't usually like the liberal, fair-minded version of liberalism pieces of news because they're not really exciting.
Right. No, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you
Like
know,
with
the bottom line is that we have a large percentage of the country who live in the middle of nowhere. They don't know anything beyond what's on those couple of news channels that they watch part-time because they're farmers. You know, they check for weather and shit. These people, they're just uneducated. And the farther out you go, the worse the education systems are. Like where I grew up, we didn't learn shit. I didn't learn shit. I mean, there was nothing. I learned everything that they tried to teach me, I already knew from home. There was nothing new there, you know, until I got to like high school, and then I started learning some stuff, but it was still all biased, you know. So you have these small towns that are religious based, and they just feed everybody this piece of the pie, and the rest of the pie we're going to throw out because that doesn't matter to us. This is what's important to us. And these people don't learn anything. And then when they see, you know, trans people or gay people or whatever, or people that are black because they live in an all white community, or people that are Hispanic, they're like, oh, what is that? I've never seen that before. And it freaks them out because it's something they don't understand. They don't get it. They've never been told about it. If they do know anything about it, they're closeted because their whole entire community would disown them, you know, and they all know that. So that if they can't leave that town, they're stuck in that shit. And they're going to keep voting for Trump like all of their relatives do because that's what they're supposed to do. And that's all they know. And they're just kept, they're like a mushroom. They're kept in the dark and fed shit. That's all it is. And so you have those people mixing with the diversity in this world, and it's just never going to work until that's why people want to ask me a question, fucking ask me. I don't give a shit. I'm going to answer it because I'd rather you ask me and me not be an asshole. Number one, because if I say I'm trans, I'll answer a question for you. I'm representing the community to that person. So I'm not going to be a dickhead to them. Number one. Number two, if I teach them something and I could teach one person one thing, and they believe me and go tell their friends. Let's say they tell 100 people or 50 people. I might get 2 or 3 people that are more open-minded. And if I do that, if I get one or more, it's a win. It's a win. I'm all game for it. She said her phone died again. StreamYards is eating it up. Good night, everybody. And by the way, this is the first time she's ever live streamed, so you guys will have to forgive her. Awkwardness.
You know how well, I'm going to say something that makes people really miffed in the skeptic community, which is people choose things based on their intuition and feelings and rationalize them secondary. The cognitive part of your brain process comes in secondary. So things like disgust and fear are going to immediately trigger before that thinking process happens. So imagine now, like when you're looking at things on the internet and they're triggering disgust and fear. And imagine now, like you lift up a pot, and underneath the pot is a whole bunch of pregnant spiders and sacks, like of little baby spiders coming out. And your first instinct, if you're scared of spiders, is going to be murder them all, right? Not let nature be, you know, we're outside, they can crawl, find a safe space.
I thought you said you pick up a pot and there's a whole bunch of stuff. You're talking outside someplace,
Right.
Harry.
Right, but when
I just heard sacks and was like, ooh.
But when then the gut reactions that we have is sort of either a fight response, and I think that's what we're seeing on the internet and now this polarization that we're seeing. So,
and you know, the bad thing I think is there's a large chunk of the problem is people's ego, because people don't want to admit they were wrong. I'm 40 years old. I couldn't have been wrong my whole life. Well, you are.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And you don't understand what's going on around you. And instead of saying, hey, I'm going to check this out and learn about someone else's culture and someone else's life, so I'm more open-minded, they go, no, that's it. You're wrong. I'm right. And it's ridiculous. It's a bunch of fucking ego. It's a bunch of egos running around.
Speaking of this,
they can't see the murders, and they can't see the rapes and the people being molested and all of this shit that happens to the LGBTQIA++ whatever community, whatever you want to add on to the alphabet mafia. You know, they don't understand it because they think it's so fucking wrong that they're like, oh, there you go, that's what happens. You know, it's the same way they treat a rape victim. Well, guess you shouldn't went to the bar that night. And that's the mindset that they have.
Yeah,
and
they'll be like,
so
yes, I told you it was a dangerous lifestyle.
So disgusting. Yeah. It's so disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, I know this because I grew up in a podunk ass area. I grew up in the middle of fucking West Virginia. My mom transplanted us there. There was a bunch of uneducated people around us. We all started talking like them, and my mom got pissed. And she's like, just because I am raising you in West Virginia does not mean that you need to sound like you're from West Virginia. You need to enunciate and pronunciate, and ain't a word. She was hard on us about that.
I want to caution people that are progressive, though. There are very many educated. My family is very educated. Like there's very many educated people that are on the right, and they go the way of Ben Shapiro, and they think that they're skeptical. Like for instance, we'll say of the CDC. I'm skeptical. I'm thinking, you know, I don't believe everything Fauci feeds me, and then they end up still falling into this weird trap. And they sort of like how we make the mistake and go, only idiots join cults. But no, there's plenty of smart people that join an actual cult, right? So
yeah,
cults rely on that. Cults can't run if every member is stupid.
It's not just stupidity though. They find people with a crutch. It's just like the military. You know what? Do they go into big inner cities and walk? No, they go out in the country. And they find people that are poor and fucking desperate and want to go to college, and they pull them right in. Well, then they're stuck in that shit.
I want to caution you again, only because, and I'm playing devil's advocate, I'm sorry, but the same thing is being said of the progressives. You're pulling the poor, the educated, the struggling in the cities, and you're using them. Like but the difference
but the difference is we're trying to help them, and we're not trying to use them for our own gains. We gain nothing from helping
I think there's both in if we're talking straight with politicians, I think there's both.
Well, politicians, yeah, but we're not talking politics because
I'm absolutely with Holy
I hate politics.
Yeah, I've got family members that are pro-Trump, and they're pro-Trump because they own their own business, and it's a fairly large business, and it's financially beneficial to them to have the conservatives in charge. And
absolutely,
the little man be damned. I want my money.
Yeah, financial interests.
But I do want to say something like along these lines because my ivermectin video is almost at 1,000 views. So that is the video that is like the most viewed on my channel. And when I titled it, like title's very neutral, and like my thumbnail just says like ivermectin on it. And it's got like a horse on it and stuff. And
That's
like,
good.
I only
guys
got
are
that
idiots.
many. I only got and the title is "Should I Take Ivermectin for Viral Infections?" And then of course, like I get all the conservatives and all the trolls in my comments, and they boosted that that video like in the algorithm because they're the only ones commenting on it. And then I've of course am responding to them, interacting with them in the comments, so it's getting like more engagement. And I mean, it worked out well in my favor for that. So hopefully like my message got out there to like that side of the community a little bit. But I did suffer a little bit from like the nonstop trolls in my notifications, but it's worth it, I think.
Yeah, do you have the patience for that? That's the other
Tension
thing.
is
A lot of
good at
people
that.
don't. Yeah.
I can't. I just.
Yeah, normally like I give people the benefit of the doubt, like that they want to have a conversation at first. So I'll go in and I'll engage with them a little bit, but when I can tell that it's reached a point that is no longer productive, then I'll walk away. And yeah, that's just kind of
like that transphobe bitch that just kept spewing bullshit and not really saying anything and fucking saying we were wrong and we're
like,
hurting
I'm just gonna walk away.
children.
I'm gonna walk away.
Shit.
Well, him I reported because he was actually harassing people in the community. But other people in my comments who just like have incorrect information, like if they're just saying incorrect information and are like misinformed, but want to learn more and are willing to have a conversation about it, like, okay, cool, we can have that conversation. But then once you get to the point that you demonstrate that you're not interested in a conversation and you just want to like spout your views on a platform, then I'm done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like if you want to have a good talk about it, you know me, but I'll talk to anybody about anything. But don't lie and bullshit and talk in circles. And the biggest thing that I hate is when people come on and they start talking about something and then they say you're wrong and then they change the subject. And I'm like, no, motherfucker, we're not done with that subject yet. Well, but hold on. This relates. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, they bring like 3 different arguments in and they blur the definition so that like you're talking about one thing and then they lump like this is something I've seen with the transphobes recently. Like the one lady on Twitter who she was conflating the terms puberty blocker, HRT, and gender confirming surgery. She was like considering them all to be the same thing. And I kept saying like, no, but these are different things. Like you have to have a different argument for each issue because they don't all work in the same context. And we were initially arguing about puberty blockers. And I kept saying like, you're making arguments that are side effects of HRT or side effects of gender surgery. Those are not side effects of puberty blockers. And then she just kept using all the terms interchangeably. Like that's a dishonest tactic because like you're talking about one thing and you're talking about a whole different thing. And then I ended up walking away from her too because she was just dishonestly arguing and it wasn't a productive conversation.
Sometimes they don't know that they're doing that though. That's the thing. They might seem dishonest, but they're not purposely.
Oh no, I called her out on it and she kept repeating the same things over and over again. And it just like
she had substantial backing.
Yeah, she had
just
none.
Hearsay. It was just hearsay. All of it was hearsay. Things she heard, things she thought,
and
things she added together.
Yeah, the context of this, there's a pediatrician on Twitter that I follow, and he's very active in like the LGBT community. He's gay, and he's a child and adolescent psychiatrist. And he wrote a book with some other psychiatrists about pediatric gender dysphoria. And so he shared a thing, and then B had commented on his post. And so then I commented saying like, hey, B, this guy wrote a book. Your doctor's office should get a copy of this book and like read it. It'd be great, a great resource. And then this lady jumps on us, especially me, saying like, you're going to be a doctor one day and you're going down this really dangerous path of affirming trans kids. I was like, okay, this is like, 'cause she's like hunting us and telling me that I'm going to be a bad doctor because I'm affirming trans kids.
How dare you?
And she's using other trans people to tell me that it's a pro-trans position because these other trans people said the same thing that she's saying, which they didn't. They didn't say anything like that. And I'm like, I'm trans. Like, you really think I'm going to take the perspective of some cishet white woman versus like a trans person, me, my own experience, and like the rest of our entire community. Like I called it cis-splaining. Like you're cis-splaining my own community to me. And she's not a medical professional at all. And I kept asking her, like I even asked her, I was like, let's make sure that we're on the same page here.
Yeah.
What do you understand about the mechanism of puberty blockers? And it was clear she could not explain to me how the medication worked. So it's like, okay, so you don't have any ground to stand on with regard to how this should be used, because if you know anything about it, you would be able to tell me how it works. And you can't do that. Because you can Google it.
I think in our conversations that we've had about puberty blockers, because I asked you a couple questions, Ben, and I was asking you questions of typical rhetoric that I hear, which is things like, it's going to affect your bone density. So let's say if you are born with male genitalia, but you feel that you identify as female, and then you put on puberty blockers, well, it's going to put you on hold. You're going to fall behind all the guys in your age group. And then if you change your mind and go, you know what, I don't feel that way, I was just confused or whatever, and they're like, oh, well, you're going to be real short, you're going to have like really weak bones, you're not going to have the bone density that you'll want, and now you'll be like this, you know, not the ideal guy, right? Like a lot of guys want, you know, some of that.
Yeah, and that's incorrect. Yeah, because like people assume that you're going to be on these puberty blockers for forever. Like that's the argument kind of that they're going. Like you don't. There's a time frame that you use these. There's a like when you're planning out a treatment protocol for somebody, it's not just here's your meds, you're done. Like you're on a puberty blocker for a max of 2 years, and the point of the puberty blocker is to give you time to work with your therapist to decide if hormone therapy is right for you. So you're put on hold, and then after the 2 years, you either have to get off the puberty blocker or you need to start HRT. Either one of those will restore your bone density back to where it would be. You're going to undergo this. You're going to undergo a puberty. It's just going to be delayed from like your peers. So that's kind of the big downside is your friends are going to be undergoing puberty and you're going to wait a little bit, but you're still going to undergo the same process. But the danger with the bone density is if you're on it for longer than 2 years is where we see that risk. But the physician or provider giving you that is not going to keep you on longer than the recommended time frame. So it's not really a risk.
Ben?
You're right.
Yeah.
Now they do put children on puberty blockers that, you know, are sometimes like 10, 11 years old, but you can't start a regimen of hormone treatment until you're like 17, 18.
You can start it a little bit earlier. It depends. It just, you have to titrate the hormone therapy because if you're going to start an adult range of hormones, it's going to be older. But you can start a smaller dose and have it almost as if it's congruent to that age group. So you start somebody, let's say you have someone who's assigned female and they want to undergo a male puberty. So you start them on a puberty blocker and then you start adding in the HRT a little bit because if you were to start it all at an adult range at once, you're going to get a huge, like rapidly increased puberty. And you're going to develop way too quickly for your age group. So they're going to titrate it and they're going to give you a little bit at a time and then gradually kind of wean you off the puberty blocker, put you like increasing on your HRT. Because the other thing that we don't want is the amount of testosterone to suppress menstruation is a lot. You need an adult dose of testosterone to suppress menstruation. So the puberty blocker would be on for a little bit in that, like with the overlap period, because that's going to stop menstruation. The testosterone's not going to do that yet. So you have this little overlap, but since you're supplementing with a little bit of HRT, you're not really dealing with the bone density issues.
So they do start children on cross HRT as young as like 14?
You can, in small amounts. And like the average age, so like the puberty, sure, the extreme, like earlier end of puberty could be like 9 or 10. Most of the time they're starting later, like around 11 or 12. So like those earlier cases, you might need to have more of a conversation about it because of course nothing you do is going to be like across the board right for everybody. But we do use these puberty blockers on children younger than age 8, because if you have someone starting puberty really early, that's the same treatment. So these people trying to say that you shouldn't use puberty blockers on kids that are 9 years old, well, we've been using it on children who are 6 years old. It's just a matter of the time frame.
I have no issues with the puberty blockers, but most of the articles that I've been reading and some of the things that I've said on stream is that, we don't use cross hormones on children, that treatment is reserved for 18 and up, just because that's some of what I had been reading.
Yeah, we can use it younger, but there are more intense guidelines in place for it.
Okay.
You have to have, because you can use an informed consent model for adults, because adults can make their own decisions about, yes, I want this treatment. With children, you can get it, but there are a lot more barriers. You have to have more letters from mental health professionals. You have to have certain evaluations done, certain criteria need to be met to have the diagnosis. So it is a lot more strict on who can get it that young, but there has to be a well-established history of gender dysphoria and that it is the proper treatment. But again, it's something that's very nuanced and very difficult to make blanket statements about, because every kid's going to respond differently and need different things. But yeah, so you're correct in that it's very different in how we would treat it, and we are going to be a lot more conservative with somebody younger.
Dr. Ben, do you need to take a pause and eat something?
Stool likes it when I eat on stream.
Let me address this really quick. This is how I feel, and how anybody that's on this panel will feel. As long as everybody asks questions respectfully and they are not degrading in any way, and you just are curious, you can ask me anything. I do not care. I will literally answer any question. If it helps you understand the community better, and it could be about gay people too, because I identified as a lesbian for 20 years. So you can ask anything you want. I would rather people ask questions and learn than be ignorant and wonder and never have the balls to do it. So you are welcome to ask me anything. Yeah, buddy.
As a trans man, can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
When you play cards, do you prefer to play games with partners or as an individual?
When I play cards?
Yeah.
Is that a metaphor for sex? Because I
No, I want to know actually if you play cards.
I actually hate playing cards alone, and I actually love playing cards in a group of 4 or more people. It's a lot of fun. You can sit around and drink and have a good. That's that pre-COVID shit I miss, is doing stuff like that.
But I meant, do you like playing partners games, or when you're playing against people, do you prefer to be on your own playing against everybody?
With card games specifically?
Yes.
Why would I want to play cards by myself? That's so boring.
No, there's still 4 or 5 people. Like if you play poker, you're playing against 7 or 8 people.
No,
but
it's
you're
team
for yourself.
Individual game.
Yeah.
Do you want to be
prefer
on
a team game or an individual game?
Honestly, I've just never been really good at any of the only thing I've ever played that was a team game was spades. I briefly learned it in the Army because I hung out with all of the black people and they all played it. And so I was like, how do we do this? And they were like, dude, you suck. And I was like, I told you I don't know how to play. So I only played a few times, but I used to just hang out with them and watch them play, and we'd all have a good time in the common area, at the barracks and stuff. So, and then when I was a kid, we always played games together, but it was pretty much all everybody for themselves kind of thing. Wait a minute, did we lose? What happened? Did we lose? What happened?
Holy Speckle put in the private chat that she had to go.
Kitty! Yay! How are you, beautiful?
Hi, Kitty.
Howdy.
Hey.
Granny, if you ever wanted to talk about this on another stream or something, I'd be down to do that as well.
Great. Yeah, I'd love to, because I talk about this topic a lot, and I based a lot on the Katie Bell case, though, and that one, she clearly did not start HRT until she was at least 17 and probably 18, which is why I found her case, just ridiculous from a legal standpoint.
Yeah.
Because she was an adult before she even started the treatment. She was complaining that she was too young to start.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Now I'll have to read up on that case as well. But like I'd be happy to have some conversations. And I can send you the standards of care that I have from my sources.
Robin wants HRT pretty bad, but is still too shy to go ask for it because he's just terrified that he'd get laughed out of the doctor's office.
I totally get that concern. I
Mhm.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's one of the things that kept me from saying anything for years, you know?
Mhm.
And I got lucky enough to get in the position where I became friends with my doctor and we knew each other and we were comfortable with each other. And, you know, I called her like Aunt Deb and stuff like that. And so we had built a relationship already. So I felt comfortable going to her. So I was really lucky, you know,
Yeah.
getting to work for my doctor where we saw each other every day and she knows who I am. You know what I mean? And she didn't understand it. She still didn't understand it. She said to me, I don't know what you think this is going to do for you, but if that's what you want to do, then I'll help you on your journey. Because she truly doesn't understand. But at the same time, I appreciate her honesty instead of bullshitting me and acting like oh yeah, I know about this. She didn't. She was just like, I don't understand this. But she's you know, cishet, lives in a cishet friend with friends, blah, blah, blah. She's got a few gay people. She has one person, one M to F that transitioned through her. And she doesn't understand that either, but she cares enough that she'll help you if that's the journey you want to take. If that's what you want to do with your life, she's still going to help you and she'll give you all the support she needs. She just doesn't understand it, you know? And I would rather have someone like that than someone that's like, what? No, I'm not doing that for you, you know, because she knows that in general, like we're all adults. We know what's good for us, you know? We know what's good for us. Okay, so does a trans person ever move to just the gender they want and not be called trans anymore? That is actually a topic of debate, Hans.
Well, some people do choose to go stealth. Some people choose to live just as the gender they want and they don't use the trans label. Like sometimes people just don't want to be part of the trans community. And like that's fine. Like some people do that and that's their choice. I like to be open about being trans. I identify with my story. Like I find value in like my struggle and my journey to be here and to help other people in the trans community. So like I do take pride in my identity as trans. But I know some people like it causes them more trauma to associate with being trans. Like there's a lot of dysphoria for them. And so I totally get that some people will go stealth.
Yes.
Kitty, you're wearing a kitty.
Kitty.
No, I can't wait until it actually gets cold enough to use this. Like Gigi made it for me and it just came today. Like I was gone all day with my son's therapy, but this came and it's
cuter on you than when it's cuter on you than when she showed it to us. Literally, it's cuter on you. It's perfect for you. And by the way, she's talking about Godless Granny because anybody that doesn't know, Godless Granny also knits and stuff. So she makes things like that. She made a scarf for Junk Shop. What else did you make for the community? You made a few things.
I made a trans scarf for Jenny, and I made I made a blanket for Shannon Q that says "Sexual Humanist" on it.
Oh, really?
It's a queen size blanket.
Oh, that had to have taken forever.
Yeah. Oh, it did. Well, that was before I started my YouTube channel. And that's when I was crocheting all day. And so it took me about 2 months.
Wow.
Can everybody keep a secret?
Yes.
Suppose, but this is YouTube. It's not secret.
It's published. It's published to everybody.
You only have to keep the secret for maybe a month because I plan to finish this project a little bit faster because this person needs it a little sooner. But I started a hat this morning for Bree because Bree is starting to transition and Bree appears publicly and he doesn't have the hair. So I found this hat pattern. Let's see if I can. I think all I've got is.
Actually, it's she. I know you said he, but it's habit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just remind. No, it's okay. I always just remind people because if nobody says anything, this is how I see it. If I was cishet and I kept saying it, and somebody told me months later, I'd feel like a dickhead. So I always remind people, because it's a new habit we have to get into.
Right.
And
it
and
is.
it's not that I'm dogging anybody out or anything. If I ever correct anybody, I'm not doing that. But if we don't remind you, then you're gonna forget, and then you're gonna feel like an asshole in 3 months. And we go, well, you've been calling me that for 3 months, so could you stop? So I just remind people because it's fair to both sides. That's all.
Are you okay with me putting something up on share screen that will show you?
Sure, I don't care. We'll get back to that one in just a
Hell
second.
yeah.
Go right ahead.
So I don't think anybody answered my quiz.
There. Except I'm going to make this hat blue and pink for her.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's adorable. Love
Yeah,
that.
and the parts I'm making the brown parts pink, and I'm making the white parts blue, and then I'm going to make the flowers I'm going to make the flowers blue and make this part white, so it'll have the trans colors in the hat.
Nice.
And then when I finish that, I'm going to make one for purple.
That's awesome. Oh, so while we're on the trans topic, so I've been starting to come out to my family because I realized I'm a baritone now, and this ain't gonna be hidden much longer.
They're gonna be like, what is up with your voice?
Yeah.
That's what Robin really wants the HRT for more than anything else, is the voice.
That was the big one for me too. And I thought like the voice change was gonna like just start around 3 months. I did not expect to be a baritone by 3.5 months, but here I am. So I might be joining the bass club here soon. We'll find out. But because most people say that their voices level out between like 1 and 2 years. So we'll see what happens to me.
Dude, I'm telling you, like both of our voices have already dropped like 2 octaves. If it gets worse, we're gonna be like, how you doing?
Hey, maybe you could compete with Matt Mercer, the voice actor who's also does Critical Role. Like that voice, it is like melted butter. So good.
I don't know if I can have that nice of a voice. I can do the funny voices though. I do lots of funny voices for my D&D streams. Just ask B. When I ran a one shot on Nat 1 Heroes, and I played this beholder who owned like a fantasy IKEA, and he was hilarious.
Oh, that's evil.
It was hilarious. It's called Bed Bath and Beholder.
That is amazing. Okay, so like D&D is near and dear to my heart because I was like a casual player in college, but when I was with my ex, one of the times I was able to actually go out and meet up with a friend, they bailed last minute, and I knew that I'd get in trouble with him if I drove all the way back home. So I stayed at and hung out at a comic book gaming shop for the day while I waited for him to get off of work. And I made a couple of friends there, and he didn't feel particularly threatened by any of the gamer store people, and he liked role-playing and stuff too. So I actually joined a Pathfinder game, and that is how I met my partner now of 10 years, father of my child, man who saved my life, love of my life. So like tabletop role-playing games will always have a special place in my heart because it's how I met him, and it actually saved my life. Like no hyperbole there.
All right. Real life perception checks for everybody.
Hold on.
Is the Death Star bigger or smaller than the nose holes on the skulls? Perception check.
I would say it is smaller.
Anyone
but
else?
Just barely.
Are you talking about the movie prop, or are you
No,
talking
this
about
this
that one
Death
right
Star
there?
right
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Is this bigger or smaller than the nose holes on the skulls behind right there?
Smaller.
It's smaller.
Anyone else?
Is there a prize?
Not really. It is definitely just a little bit smaller.
Ha! I said it just a little bit.
Yep.
I win.
And I'm not sure if you noticed this, B, but I introduced a new drinking smoking game in your chat, eh?
You know, honestly, I was totally going to say something about that, but we were all being so serious. So Ollie said every time the cat goes by, you either drink, smoke, or something. So unless you don't do any of those things, then I don't know, have a cigarette, pick your nose. I don't know. You guys could pick whatever you do in the chat. I don't.
Doesn't even necessarily have to be B's cat.
Pick your nose.
Any pet in anybody's stream.
Take 2 shots if her cat shows its ass.
Yeah. Finish your drink.
Right.
The
So
cat
you push
puts
a
her ass
button,
right in the camera.
and you see this holographic image of a beholder come out from this lamp. Hello! I see that you found my lamp. My name is Fitzwalter, and I'm your personal shopping assistant for the day. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for, or are you just kind of browsing around?
I love it, bro. Oh, I fucking love it.
Oh, you remind me of my partner. He literally does voices just like that when he's playing games. And there was actually one time that we stumbled upon a house in the middle of nowhere, and there was literally like this little old man that sounded so similar to that. And like he gave us some trinkets, and he was like, was this the first time that we met, or the last time, or have we met, before, or yet to meet? Like basically that, kind of like foreshadowing that we will meet him multiple times, like in the journey. And like that just gave me a mainline dose of nostalgia, and I thank you for it.
Kitty, I've got to sound the literary klaxon.
What?
The literary klaxon.
Hey, I mean, if you literally want to bring that on yourself, I didn't do it. No, it's because I say literally a lot, and
She literally says it all the time.
It annoys school, so I make sure to lean into that shit literally as much as I can because it's funny.
Do you like the voice Dr. Benny's doing now? This is one of his best ones.
Okay, so let me just say this right now. Let's get back to where we were. Legally change their gender on legal docs. Yes, you can do that. You have to go through a lot of steps. You have to see psychiatrists and everything to get to change your gender physically. And then from there, you can change your name legally. Your gender is a whole different story. Like here where I live, it's going to cost you about $270 to change my name. So I'm stuck with my old one for, I don't know, next year sometime when I get the money together. But changing your gender, I don't know if it's legal in every state or not.
No, it's changing your gender on legal documents. It depends on your state, and it's very easy in some states.
Mostly
like Colorado,
the blue
you literally just submit an application for it, and it's done.
Yeah, here it's a matter of you have to live as the person you want to become, which I'm like, I've been doing that for 30 fucking years. I just didn't tell anybody, like that was easy, but you have to like live as that gender fully. I think you need to have your name changed already or something like that, but then you have to go see a therapist and get a letter from not just therapist, but someone with a PhD to give you a letter. And some states you have to have that letter just to have surgery. Now, where I live, my insurance does not make us do that. I can have the surgery without a letter. I just have to get the insurance company to authorize it, which my friend I work with has that. She's got like all my paperwork waiting. And then once I get that first consultation, she's going to throw all the paperwork in. She just has to have that first consultation from the breast removal people. It's really what it is.
That's the way it should be for adults. Like for adults, it should just be informed consent. Because if you are an adult, you should be allowed to make whatever decision you want with your body. So I hate that it's still I do agree that for children, that the process should be you need to go through certain steps because you don't know if they understand what's going on or the permanence of it. So with children, Sure, there needs to be more steps in place, but for an adult, you should be able to change whatever the fuck you want with your body whenever the fuck you want to.
I just looked up the law here in Canada. In Canada, it's a right that you get to define your own gender. So at any point in time, you can just submit the documentation to change your gender on all of your legal
And
documents.
that's how it should be, folks.
Fucking Canada, man. They are beating us in every single goddamn metric.
In Alabama, you must have surgery first. No surgery, no change.
That's bullshit.
Like
That's
when
such a social barrier to like not being murdered.
like when as a society can we get to the point where a person has full bodily autonomy for their own person? Because I believe that, you know, every human person should have full bodily autonomy. Now for children it should be a little bit limited, obviously, because like 9-year-olds shouldn't be getting tattoos or piercings because again, like they're not, their brains aren't fully developed yet, so they don't really understand like the permanence. Piercings is a little different than tattoos. They're not as permanent, but even still, you know, within reason there should be limits, but even children should have autonomy. If a child does not want to hug somebody or get affection to somebody or give it, they should not be forced to. And it should get even more so, you know, as an adult. Like if you want to do a drug, you should be able to do it as long as you're not endangering others. Like your body,
That's
your choice
exactly
in all ways.
Thank you.
If
That's
you want
exactly
to
how
die,
I feel. If you're going
you
to
should
kill
have the
yourself,
right to do it.
That's absolutely on you. Yep. Don't take anybody out with you. Don't do it while you're driving. Don't hit somebody. Don't hurt anybody else. Go out in the middle of the woods and fucking off yourself if you want. I don't really care if people want to do that. Don't involve other people in it. Don't hurt other people, and I don't give a fuck what you do. Literally, I don't care.
I mean, the biggest argument that, you know, people give me against the idea of right to die is, oh, well, you know, you're hurting their family members by allowing them to do this. And I'm going to tell a personal story. When I was 16, my father, who has suffered from chronic pain longer than I've been alive, came to me and had, you know, it was a man-to-man conversation since I was the eldest child, but, you know, I just don't have that genitalia, you know, and but regardless. So it was basically, look, I don't know how much longer I can do this. I'm going to need you to step up and help take care of your mom and your sisters because I'm tired. And that was the gist of it. And yeah, that's a lot to put on a 16-year-old. However, when it comes down to it, I get it. At the time, though, I thought he was the most selfish prick ever. I was like, you know, thinking to myself, fuck you, Dad. Like, why would you put us through this? You know, fast forward, not even 5 years. And I had been suffering from chronic pain, you know, from after my surgery that happened when I was 18. And I was diagnosed at 19 with my condition that, let's just say the nickname for my condition is the suicide disorder because it has a very high suicide rate among people who suffer it because it's that bad. I get it. Like, I absolutely get it. Now, I'm not in that kind of place, you know, and I have my son, so like that's not an issue for me. But I was the selfish one. I was the asshole there because I didn't want to mourn my father. I wanted him to continue suffering every single day. And now, granted, my father somehow found it and he's still trucking now. And he's got his grandkids that, you know, are still young. You know, they're like, my son is only 7. My niece is 11. So they're young. He wants to be there for them. That's helping him to move forward. But when it comes time for him to have that conversation again, I mean, I'm going to be sad. I'm going to miss my dad. I love my dad, but, you know, with love and peace, you know, like lay down that sword. Like chronic pain is a war. You are fighting every day and there's no escaping it. It is exhausting and nobody should be forced to do that. It's a form of torture, in my opinion. And not all pain is physical. Like, I mean, people could want to end their lives for any reason. And I think that there should be a minimum barrier there where you have to go through at least a therapy session, like to basically make sure that you are in like your right mind kind of thing, to kind of maybe weed out people that it's like, oh, they just lost their job or they just lost, you know, their partner walked out on them or something like that, you know, to try to minimize it, see if counseling can help. But there should, be no further barrier than that for somebody to check out. If they want to unalive themselves, they should be allowed to do that if they are, able to grasp the concept that this is a permanent decision. Then love and peace.
Yeah.
Do
well,
you?
I would say like at least 2 therapy sessions, not less than a week apart, just so you make it sure it's not just how they were feeling on one day.
Absolutely. And that's why I'm saying there should be a little barrier there, but not
I
so
don't
much
think
that it's
two's enough if they're
insurmountable.
uncertain.
Well, I said at least, but
yeah, at least.
Well, yeah. So let me address this. For anybody that wants to chime in on this, we'll just keep making these round the horns. Is there a percentage of trans people that decide to go back to their original gender? I do not know the numbers on that.
It's like somewhere around 2%.
Yeah,
I
was going to say it's like
percentage.
1 to 4%.
Yeah,
and
I know
it's so small.
I know where I'm at. We have I know of 3 different people that started changing, went back, and then said, "What the hell am I doing?" And now they are fully transitioned. So those are the only 3 people I personally know.
Well,
of.
even the transphobes who are saying, that it's a bad idea and nobody should ever do it. Even the stuff they cite, I've never seen anything with a figure of more than 4%.
Yeah, and most of the people who detransition, like they're doing it from social pressure, and like it's hard being openly trans or just being trans at all. It's hard. So like there's a lot that you could attribute to societal pressure, and so you can't even make a causal relationship of like sure, of course, there are always going to be some people who try something and turns out it's not for them, and everyone should have the freedom to do that. Like, it's your life to learn who you are and meet yourself. And if you want to try something, try it. Like, if I want to have pink hair for a day and then I decide I don't want pink hair anymore, I don't have to have pink hair. It doesn't mean that I wasn't really a pink haired person. It just means that like it's not something I wanted to pursue with my life, and it's fine. Like, there's some people that are like that, and then there are other people who end up detransitioning because they've been getting death threats, or like it's
or their
become not
family
safe for
disowns them.
Their family disowns them. Like, they're part of the mix too. So even if it's a 2% or a 4%, like not all of those like 4% are because they didn't think that they were trans. Like, some of them just don't like want to put their lives on the line for it.
I would even say the majority. Like, I would say it'd be a fraction of a percentage, that did it just because of buyer's remorse, for lack of a better way to phrase it. And that most of it would be family and societal pressure.
I've seen some places where people are quoting studies saying that, I can't remember the exact percentage, but it was over 50% of children who originally are diagnosed as being transgender end up not being transgender in the long run, and they either detransition or they never transition in the first place. But one of the doctors that I was listening to explain that said that in the DSM-4, gender dysphoria and gender nonconformity were lumped together. And the problem with these statistics is that they were looking at children who were never gender dysphoric to begin with and saying, see, they didn't transition. Well, yeah, they didn't transition because they were never dysphoric to start with, and they fixed that with the DSM-5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the bottom line is any kind of like being trans or gay or straight or whatever, there's so many details to each person. And that's why when people want to like slap a statistic on it and go, oh, this is the statistic, bitch, you don't know what you're talking about.
No group is a monolith.
The statistics are usually not even in the community. These are people that have no idea what it's like to be any of these things, but just cishet, cishet. They don't understand it, and yet they want to slap percentages on it and make things sound horrible. When the bottom line is every situation's different, every single fucking one.
Yeah, statistics are still.
And that's for everybody in the entire fucking world. We're all fucking different.
Statistics are just generalizing for our group, so I don't even care if you can show that 99% of the group is this way. You can't show that I'm not the 1%.
Mm-hmm.
73% of statistics are made up on the spot.
Yeah.
I love
That's
Yeah,
true.
Gigi.
and people don't know what multifactorial means. Like that's something that I'm learning about a lot of people with regard to biological sex. Like it's not just like your sex does not depend on one factor. It depends on multiple factors working together. So like people love to like they keep changing their goalpost on what is the one factor that matters the most. Like some days it's gametes and some days it's chromosomes and like but like and I keep trying to say it is multifactorial. All of these are a combination that forms the individual person. So you can't leave it as like an either or because it's an individual person with multiple traits that work together in their body to make them who they are. And so like a lot of these issues, it's a like you can't attribute like these statistics to just one variable. There's so many confounding variables in these that like you'd have to determine a causal relationship between those specific variables. And no one has done that. So just leave it alone. Like don't quote the statistic if you don't have any that actually eliminate confounding variables or do their best to correct for them.
Puppy.
If I missed a puppy, I got to take a toke.
This is Sakura. Hold on. Sakura. Can you say hi to everybody?
Oh, baby.
Puppy.
She is the best doggo.
Puppy.
So when we got her, I was not planning on a dog just yet because I didn't think my son was old enough. This was when he was like 2. But she bonded with him instantly. Like she was a rescue. Like her and her brothers and her sister were abandoned in my family's neighborhood. And she refused to come inside. All the other puppies had been gathered up from the box, but she was too scared. Well, like coincidentally, the day that like the family dog Chopper passed away, he was old. She actually came to my sister and came in, and she is like the sweetest thing, and she's like an emotional support dog without any training. When my son's having one of his autism meltdowns, she's there just giving him kisses and love, and he could take food right out of her mouth, and she does not ever get aggressive with him. When they met, she was tinier than him, not so much anymore. She's 60 pounds, but she thinks she's a chihuahua. And he picked her up by her back legs like a little wheelbarrow and like accidentally dropped her. Now he was a toddler. Like she didn't get hurt or anything, but she just looked like, really? Is this what I'm gonna have to deal with? This what I'm gonna have to deal with? And she's been his best friend ever since. Like she sleeps at the foot of his bed, you know, and she's the sweetest dog. She's also a giant pussy. As soon as it starts getting windy or rainy, she will hide under the desk. And then back in, I think it was 2017 when, I think it was 2017 when we had that bad hurricane come through. Gigi will remember this one. It was like late August. I forget the name of the storm, but it destroyed our shed in the backyard. And so I grabbed Michael's long raincoat, trench coat that he has for his construction job, and his hard hat, and I wasn't sleeping. They were asleep on the couch. I'm walking the perimeter, making sure that nothing's going to fly off from that shed and fly through the window and like hit them while they slept. And I come inside. She'd been shaking like a leaf the whole time. I come inside like that. She's greets me there growling. Now, she just stayed between me and them on the couch. And then I took the hard hat off, took the coat off. She realized it was me. Didn't matter if she was shaking, but she was making her presence known of, hey, you will not hurt my family, because I was stranger danger, not looking normal. And when she saw it was me, she gave me like big, kisses, and then went and jumped on the couch and landed right on Michael's family jewels, woke him from a dead ass sleep. And I laughed so hard. I felt bad, but it was funny.
The most goodest doggy.
She is the most goodest. She is the best doggo.
Yeah, we had a chow that we got when she was 6 weeks old. So she grew up with the 2 cats in the house, and she got up to 60 pounds and never realized she had grown bigger than the cats. That she would chase Cloudy, and Cloudy would go under the coffee table, and she'd get stuck at the shoulders and just look at me bewildered, like, but Cloudy did it.
she'll greet you with a hug when you come in the door, and like she's big enough that her paws can hit my shoulders. And she has a big brother who is the exact same as her, but like 1.75 times the size. Like just fucking like almost a whole 3/4 bigger. It's crazy. Like he's huge. His name's Shadow. Like Homeward Bound.
That
Baby.
my dog is Bailey. She weighs about 90 pounds. But she's old now. She's 12 years old.
Oh wow.
12 years old next week.
Sakura is
Sammy.
5. Jeez.
She's deaf as a post, though. I had to mute my mic and yell at her to get her to come over. But where she was lying down out there, she's lying down right next to the cupboard where her treats are, with her back to me like that. She does that whenever she wants a treat, right? So, which is all the time. So that's why she doesn't get one.
So not to sound like a total dog killer asshole. I mean, I like dogs too, but I mean, we were on a really good subject, and I really don't want to talk about dogs right now. So anyway, I feel like there was a part there that people were trying to say more about trans stuff, and I know not everybody got a word in, so I just wanted to kind of lean back. I think Purple was trying to say something, and I don't know, maybe Catnip, I'm not sure. So what did you guys have to say about all that, like with the percentages of people, you know, and what makes someone, I mean, give me that opinion on it. What is it that you believe is makes that person more natural towards being the opposite gender?
Well, the only reason that I didn't transition a couple of decades ago was because I constantly had people telling me I wasn't trans enough. You know, that I wasn't feminine enough, or if I wasn't willing to commit to the surgery from day one, I couldn't do it, and things like that. So they fucking gatekeepers, otherwise I would have done this 30 years ago.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Ben, what about you? Anything you have to say about that subject?
Which question specifically were we addressing in the
Well, we were talking about the percentages and stuff, and I was just asking you what you think makes like people like what is it? I'm trying to get different opinions. What is it that led you naturally to, like, what was it inside you? What was it? Was there a big factor? Was there something happened in your life, or was it just you always felt like that, or that kind of thing?
I mean, looking back, I would have known around like age 7 had I not been raised in like such a religious environment, because like even from a young age, like in the theater, I always identified with playing the male characters. Like I just instinctively would be like, oh yeah, that's the character I want to play, and they would always be male until like I'd have to like think back and like go, oh no, I'm probably going to be cast as a female character, like, because that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like, I didn't connect the dots until later, because I didn't know being trans was a thing. And I was like, oh, maybe I am a guy. And like, maybe I do identify more with this. And so I think that's really what did it. But I had to go through a process myself, because growing up religious, especially in an evangelical household, I needed to make sure that like I had to address the question of, do I identify with being a man, or do I just really hate the way women are treated? Like I wanted to make sure I wasn't like just wanting to be a man because I didn't like the way I was being treated as a woman in the church. And that's a very valid thing, because women are treated absolutely terribly in the church. And I don't wish that upon anybody. But I thought about it more, and like I initially identified more as non-binary. And then like as I kept going along, like, no, I think I'm binary. So, and then here I am.
Cool.
For what it's worth, I didn't know you were trans before. Like when I first met you,
I
like
didn't either. I just thought he was
you're
this young
just
dude.
passing. Yeah. So just
I had no
Yeah,
idea.
same.
figured
And
I
I
would
have
let you
radar.
know.
I have radar for all that kind of shit, and I had no fucking idea. I
appreciate it.
always know. I had no. Nah, dude. I told you before. I was like, this dude is so cool, and then I was watching and said somebody. So he said something about trans. I was like, trans? Who? There's Neil and Ben up there. What are you talking about, right? And I was like, oh, Ben. Oh, really? Fuck.
I
had
was
no
too.
idea.
My radar didn't
I had
ping
no
at all.
clue. Yeah.
I was so jealous of you.
I just have like dude energy, I guess.
You
Like
do.
it's
You
just
do.
always just been my personality. And it's funny because my roommate in college, my freshman year of college, like we're both still really good friends. And they were actually one of the people that kind of helped guide me out of religion. Because it was my first time really like living with somebody who was non-religious. And they came out as non-binary like after we both we both ended up leaving that university for different reasons. I ended up transferring somewhere else, and then they decided like university wasn't the way they wanted to go, and now they're in culinary school and doing great. But they came out as non-binary, and then like looking back, like we both definitely are not gender conforming people. We never were in any of that time. But most of my friends are like somewhere like either non-binary or trans, and I think we all just kind of find each other. But it's funny because we like infiltrated the women's floor of the dorm because we were originally on a co-ed floor, and then we both hated our roommates, and so then we wanted to be roommates with each other, but our roommates would not become roommates with each other. They were both just not very personable people. And so we're like, okay, well, we'll just go wherever there's an empty room. And there's an empty room on the women's floor, which everyone nicknamed the nunnery, as it was a women's only floor. And we're like, okay, well, we qualify, but neither one of us are women. So we infiltrated the women's floor. So there's that story, I guess.
There you go.
I'm just thinking like Mission Impossible music, you know.
I mean, they did some fun stuff, like women's communities are like fun with like they love to have like paint nights and stuff and like crafting sessions. Like, why don't dudes do this? Like we need to stop referring to like art as being feminine only. I mean, like everybody can do art. Art is for everybody. You can paint and be a dude. It is okay.
Now, see, all my life, I've always been more welcomed into the women's activities than the men's. You know, and oddly, I had always had a tendency of attracting lesbians. That for most of my life, my best friend had always been a lesbian.
Lesbians are great, man. I fucking love lesbians.
You know, but it's like, because most of them didn't really, or the way my fiance had put it, that, I didn't display any of the attitudes or mannerisms that she expected men to have.
Rosie Greer did a lot to help make it acceptable for men to do crafts.
There's one YouTuber I like to watch a lot, Mr. Crafty Pants. He does a lot with like Cricut crafts, and I've learned a lot from watching him on working with vinyl ever since I got my Cricut machine.
Well, and it certainly doesn't have to be one or the other, that's given the materials and a couple of strong bodies, I could build a house from scratch, but, I also do most of the typical women's things like sewing. I used to say there's a lot of guys that can say that they're jack of all trades, but I was probably the only one who could install new windows and then go on to sew the curtains.
Yeah, sewing is not only for women. Anyone can sew, anyone can knit, anyone can do whatever craft you want to do.
I've
it's
never
good for
been
you
able to knit.
have hobbies.
See, I feel like
it goes over my head.
I feel like we've done this whole military thing wrong. This is what we should have done, right? You have like the grunts in the front that scout out all guys, right? You got a bunch of lesbians with a bunch of weapons, like really man-hating lesbians, not just regular lesbians, but like I really despise men. I will cut their dicks off.
Feminazi lesbian.
You give
yes.
them, you give
Where
them
we go
all
with
of the
this?
main weaponry, right? And so you get the guys to scout and run ahead and shit. They got stamina. They can do that. Have all the lesbians come behind with the weapons, shoot the fuck out of everything, and then you have the gay man come up and they clean up, make everything pretty again, and then we just keep going to the next. See, I have
That
the military
works.
solved.
You just made humanity as a horde of Vikings.
I've been,
So
saying
like-
this for, I've been saying this for years. Nobody listens to me. Those gay men, they can fucking decorate. God damn it.
But
They're the decorators.
Going back
Yeah.
to what I was saying before, why I love lesbians, the main reason is because they can do everything men can do, and some of the things they do a hell of a lot better than most. But none of the toxic masculinity. It's like, mwah, chef's kiss. It's perfect.
There you go. That's how we got to do it, folks. That's how we got to do it. Anyway, so what's going on in the chat? Let me see where we're at. Oh, Hans said, thank you to you and your panel for clearing those things up for me. Absolutely, Hans. That's one of the reasons I love the community that I am in, because everybody here is good people. We all support each other. And there's like love going around, and we all want to fucking learn more, and we discuss, and we're all open-minded. Nobody's being a dickhead. Well, if they were, I'd kick them out anyways and block the fuck out of them. But I just don't have that here, and I'm just a lucky motherfucker. I really am. I literally right now in this moment feel like the luckiest motherfucker alive. I literally do, and I'm not just saying that word because it bothers Stool and Kitty says a lot, but I literally do, Stool.
Hey, we literally love you, man.
Just don't know how my life could get better right now. I have all you guys. I have
It
IRL
literally can't.
friends. I have an amazing job that does not pay enough, but God, I love doing it because I love helping people. And I have this amazing fucking woman who's crazy about me, and I don't even know why, but I'm gonna fucking take it and run with it. And then I got my brother right down the road that I love to death, and I get to see him about once a week, sometimes 2 weeks. So we get to keep in contact, and I see him all over YouTube, and have all you fucking amazing people. And I'm going to tell you, I know I'm like new in love and I'm being mushy, but I mean, I just
love it.
I love and appreciate all of you. And I know I tell you guys that, but I mean, when I say that, when I say I want you to have peace, I want you to take care of yourself, I want you to take care of one another, and I love you, I fucking mean it. I'm not just saying it. It's not any kind of substance talking. I really feel like that. I have been through some crazy shit in my life. I've almost died multiple times. One time I was damn near dead. I mean, I've been kicked down, shit on, pissed on, stolen from, came home and everything, every belonging I had was gone. My roommate stole it all. Like, I've literally been down every path. And so nothing surprises me anymore. But two, I appreciate all the little things that you guys all bring to this community. And that's just the fucking truth of it.
Well, you're
I see it
our
every day.
internet big brother. Like, at least for me.
What's
you
that?
know, internet big brother.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I'll be an uncle, brother. I don't know.
Dad.
Hey guys, I think Granny needs to head out.
Oh,
Yeah,
you leaving?
and so
Granny?
does
I'm
Ollie,
sorry.
too.
Yeah, Granny and Ollie were
I
both
am
saying they need to
horrible
go.
about checking
Okay.
that chat.
I'll
I love
ask
you
you then
guys.
later, Gigi, because there was a women's rights case that came up in Oklahoma recently. I wanted to ask you about, but I don't want to keep you.
Okay, DM me and I'll look at it tomorrow.
Yeah, because like it's like holy shit.
Okay. All right.
All right, guys. Have a
Thanks
good
for
night.
having me.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
Ollie.
Ollie. Good night, Granny.
Love you, buddy. Thank you, Kelly. Love you.
And then there were 7.
And then there were 7.
Who we killing off next?
But B, I was gonna say you and Heather are literally the cutest.
Oh,
Yeah, but you need to get a room.
Dude, for real. Like Catnip, isn't she beautiful?
Yeah,
She
you need to get a
is,
you need to get a
though.
room
She's
though.
fucking beautiful, man. Like, how the fuck is this? She's texting me this whole time talking about how happy she is being around me and how she can't wait till 7:15 a.m. where I get to see her. Like, it's literally like
Wait.
I said, are we both crazy because we're saying shit to each other the same? And we're and I was like, I've never said this shit to anybody in my life. Never mind anybody before like 2 years. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you
And I'm
just
just like
click.
spilling my guts, and it's
Sometimes you
fucking
just
weird
find
and
the right
amazing all at the
person.
same time. And it's not just lust. That's a crazy thing. Like I've gone through something similar to this, but it was really just lust. And she was hot, and we had some amazing fucking sex. We really did. I mean, it was fucking incredible. But when the sex started petering off, we had nothing left. And I wish I would have seen that back then, because she really broke my fucking heart. But I learned a lot of shit. I learned a lot of shit from that experience. I learned a lot of shit about myself and relationships and what to do and what not to do. And I mean, that was 3 years of mind opening with her. And before she broke my heart. But, you know, I'm cool with it though, because if this is what real love feels like, and it gets better, I'm fucking ready, dude. I've never felt this in my life. I've just never felt like this. And it's fucking scary, and it's exciting, and waiting until 7:15 every morning to see her is fucking ridiculous. But anyways, here I am, even though this is how much I love you guys. Her dinner was canceled for tonight. I could have turned around and drove right back to Santa Fe. I was only 20 minutes away, but I was like, I already set everything up, so we'll stream. So that's
Hey
why
everyone,
we love you
hey
too.
everyone,
on instead.
hey
Go,
everyone,
Ben.
Titan Uranus, cause someone is in the chat.
Wait, hold on. Did you say Titan Uranus?
Yeah,
Is
you Titan Uranus,
here?
guys.
I want everybody to say it on the
You
count
got
of
it.
3. Ready?
Oh,
1,
no.
2, 3. Titan
Titan
Uranus.
Uranus.
There you go, buddy. I'm getting clips for Tony. I love him. He wants clips of people saying that. So if we got everybody to say it, he could be like, yeah.
Okay. Apparently there were you had pictures and I missed it. I don't know what she looks like.
Oh, she was on the
here.
stream.
Oh.
She was go back to
Yeah,
rewind to the beginning. She was
Okay.
here.
I'll have to watch this from the beginning later then.
Yeah, she's on
really
she's
pretty.
oh, she is really pretty. Fuck, dude, I can't even. Why? Why the fuck does she want me? Oh my god.
I may have accidentally taken screenshots.
You know what I feel like? I told her this morning. I feel like Chevy Chase on the Christmas
Good job,
movie.
Stool.
God damn motherfucking son of a bitch, fucking shit, goddamn cock sucking, fucking this goddamn eggnog's great. That's how I fucking feel right now.
Are you drinking eggnog? I want some eggnog now.
No, it is not
It's
eggnog.
precious.
When I drink eggnog, I put cinnamon whiskey in it. That's the best way to
I want
fucking
some
drink eggnog.
eggnog.
And when they take it off the shelf at the end of the year, I cry for like 7 or 8 months because
They
it is
can make
literally
it.
the best thing to.
You can make it.
Not in my look. I ain't even got a kitchen, you guys. I ain't making shit. I don't have room for a blender.
You
I don't even have room
you
for.
could get your girlfriend to make it for you.
Yeah,
She told me I could
it.
bring my laundry and stuff over and do it over at her
Cat.
house.
Yeah, I need to find a good eggnog recipe so I can have it anytime.
Yeah, you could definitely just ask your wonderful, fantastic, really pretty girlfriend to make you eggnog.
I've never
breaking
tried
news
it
in
with
the chat.
cinnamon whiskey. It's generally put a splash of Bailey's in it is good.
Oh, somebody else's. Oh, eggnog? Oh my god, it's great with cinnamon whiskey. It's really fucking good.
Everything is great with whiskey.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I'll
just
have to
do
try
like
that.
Spiced rum.
I get like a
also
8 to
not
12. What are they? 12 ounce? I think they're 12 ounce, like the bourbon tumblers. 12 ounce, right? I get one of those and I fill it. I put like a hefty shot, at least, if not 2, in there, and then I just fill it up with eggnog, and that shit is the fucking bomb. It is the bomb. Also, the other thing I've heard is if you take rum chata and mix it with eggnog, like half and half or something like that. I've heard that's really good. I've not tried rum chata yet because it's so expensive for how much. See, I checked how much alcohol's in it. It says like
more
13.
sweetness
I'm
than
like,
anything.
I'm not spending $25 on this bottle.
We got Val in the
I can
chat.
get wine for 8. We have Val.
Rosie,
Shut the fuck up.
Rosie Raid is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's Val.
Hey, Rosie.
Oh, Val, you didn't get eggnog. I regret it for you, honey.
Hey B, have you ever had coquito? It
Where
is
am I at?
basically Puerto Rican eggnog, but it doesn't have eggs in it. It's actually made with coconut milk.
Whoa. You're like really close to your mic and it comes through when you first speak. It kind of goes
Oh.
rah, and we can't understand what you're saying. Yeah, just back it off a little bit. Now what was the name of it again?
Coquito.
Coquito. That sounds familiar.
It
we have
is-
horchatas here. They're really
It's Puerto Rican. It's like the Puerto Rican equivalent to eggnog.
Right.
It doesn't have eggs in it like eggnog does, but it's made with coconut milk. and it is absolutely freaking delicious.
Coconut milk all day. All day.
Well, I've been wondering if I can get a trademark on my Dragon Ball tea. It's my own special blend of iced tea with the shot of the Fireball whiskey.
Yeah, see, I never thought about doing that, Purple. I've tried Fireball because I really like Fireball. I love cinnamon flavored anything. When I was a kid, and I would go look on the street and find a goddamn nickel so I could go into the store and buy like 2 Fireballs with that fucking nickel. I loved them.
No, I'm talking about the Fireball whiskey.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I love anything cinnamon. I started when I've loved it since I was like 3. I've always liked hot ass cinnamon, anything. Yeah. So when I found Fireball, I'll just you guys have seen me. I'll drink it right out of the fucking bottle. I love the taste of it. It burns.
Like candy connoisseurs hate everything cinnamon, and I don't understand that because I'm with you. I think cinnamon is delicious.
Huh. And it's so good for you when it's real too. Like cinnamon is really good for you. Local honey mixed with cinnamon. Try that every day. They suggest a teaspoon of honey. You mix a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon with it. Mix it up really good. Whip it a little bit. Eat that shit. And it's good for your heart and your circulatory system and your brain function and your liver function.
Okay, now you're making medical claims. We gotta get Ben on this.
It's good for all kinds. Well, as far as I know. Now, mind you, I am not Ben, and I don't really know. I don't know shit about shit. It's just what I've seen in the past in stuff that I've read.
Yeah, unfortunately, if they're claiming that one herb or spice is good for a dozen different things, there's got to be some woo going on there.
Except garlic. There's always a reason to eat garlic.
God damn it. If it was good with honey and cinnamon, Monty, I'd do it. Shit.
You might be able to get away with that with black garlic. It's basically like a fermented garlic, and it's got like a sweetness to it. So you might be able to get away with that.
No one who eats garlic every day has ever been bitten by a vampire or a werewolf.
This is true.
A lot of things don't happen to people who eat garlic every day. Lots of social interactions don't happen.
But
yes,
also,
Scalia said that the reason he never caught a cold was because his mother always made him eat everything, or actually wore a satchel with garlic around his neck when he was a kid. And that's what he said, that he never caught a cold because nobody ever got close enough to breathe on him.
Yeah, but also everyone who's ever eaten garlic has died at some point. So
same with water.
Damn sense.
Okay, so it doesn't make you immortal. That's all.
Yeah. No, I was making a stupid thing because
sure, I don't have causation. That open. So if you want me to read something, you'll have to send us my Twitter DM. I don't have YouTube open when I do this. I'm on Wi-Fi and it draws too much bandwidth.
Basically the tweet says, and with that, we're free, finally, with middle fingers up to a house or something. So Manda, it says, breaking news, Manda is free.
Oh, good. Manda finally got out of there.
They got out. Yep.
About damn time.
Yeah. So unfortunately, it sounds like they don't really know where they're going from there, but I know Aunt Jura was saying she was trying to line up some help with some friends of hers who live near them.
Oh, good. Yeah, so, I'm too far away. I feel like I'm not near anybody to help anybody. I live where nobody lives. Did anybody else notice that? There's just nobody else around where I live in our entire fucking community. Other people could be like, "Oh, I'm on the other side of the state," or "Oh, I'm right above you," or "I'm right below you on the other, next state below you." But me, it's like nobody's here. Nobody's. Everybody's at least a day drive from me. Everybody.
That's because you live out in the middle of the fucking desert. Nobody lives in the desert.
Oh my God, are you kidding? There's 80,000 people in that. No, 85,000 people at a given time in this little town that's up the road from me here. There's plenty of people here. There's a lot of fucking money here is what's here. There's a lot of money and it's expensive as fuck to live here. one of the reasons I live in a tiny home. I pay every month for my rent, electricity, internet, everything. I pay $400 to park here. And if you go get a studio apartment downtown, you're going to pay at least, if you get one for $1,000, that's the size of like a bed and maybe a love seat to fit in it. You found a really good price. They're
That's
like $1,500. A regular studio is like $1,500 at least. A one bedroom is like $1,500 to $2,000, unless you want to live in the really shitty part of town. Might be able to find one for $1,000 to $1,500, but you're probably gonna have cockroaches and bed bugs, and that's like very, very little areas around here. Like most places are new and redone and renovated and everything else. So it's just it. That's why people don't live here. It's very fucking expensive.
I mean, it's getting expensive everywhere, though. I mean, people have been losing their homes a lot, especially during the pandemic. And there are these large, like, huge companies that are going in and buying up all these, like, small homes. Like, basically, your single family, like, starter homes. The one that when you first get married, you buy it, then you might put some work into it, some TLC, then sell it to get a bigger house. Yeah, they're buying them all up and they're not reselling them. They're only renting them because they want to basically create a society of renters.
Yes.
Well,
absolutely.
And it's been going on for a long time too, that, for decades, that they've been buying up these small, cheap houses, and in a lot of cases deciding that the location is what's valuable, so they wind up just bulldozing the houses to build something that's, larger and far more expensive that they can sell.
It's a huge issue, and it's part of what's driving, the housing market up higher and higher. And it's just untenable. It's literally crushing the lower and middle classes. One of many things crushing them.
Yep.
Wow. Early 2000s, they deregulated the lending institutions, expanded the credit, caused the housing prices to go nuts because of the expansion of the credit, and it never went back down to market fundamentals. And then Titan says, no, this is new. Are you talking about the herbal liquor or the subject? I don't know what you're talking about. But, yeah, I mean, anyways, yeah.
So another thing that exacerbates this, to kind of jump on Kitty's point, I have a good friend who lives over in Oregon, and he builds cabinets. And before that, he built tiny houses. And before that, like he's a contractor. And last year was the first time I heard him say, hey man, I know this doesn't mean anything to you, but a 2x4 used to cost $4, and it used to cost $4 for the past 20 years. Now they cost $6. So I have a feeling that people like you are going to start, feeling the crush of this lumber, explosive price, because like supplies are getting, they're horrible, and lumber is the main export of Oregon. So like, of course, he's in touch with that, and their ability to export is decreased. So on top of all of the legitimate systemic things that Kitty was talking about, even if you bought a new home, you're going to be paying the, how do I call it? I was going to call it convenience tax, but it's not convenience. It's the delayed supplies tax, right? So like a $400,000 home is going to be $600,000 now. Like everything that goes into, like if a 2x4 is going up by 50% in price, then that is just the most basic elemental thing that you're going to use to build a house. Imagine how much everything else is going to cost to complete the project.
No, the price of lumber is sky high right now. My dad had to redo the deck of the front porch, and it cost what would have cost maybe $200 ended up costing
what,
fucking $1,000. Like, I mean, it was not that. It's not a big deck. They live in a very small home, but it's just absolutely fucking exorbitant. And Michael works construction, and they have had a bunch of delays because supply chain issues. Like, there are some things.
That's the word that I couldn't shake loose. Supply chain.
There you go.
I think either AC units or like power units or something like that. Like, they're like 6 to 9 to 12 months like ahead of time, like where they're like, you know, you're gonna have to wait 6, 9, 12 months to get this thing that we need to get this, you know, finished, just for one thing that they need.
One
for
tiny
them.
little part they can't get because of the supply chain problem.
Wait a minute,
Same thing with
Julie's
cars.
here. Oh, well, we gotta pause. I never see Julie anymore. Julie, how the fuck are you, sweetheart? I'm glad you're doing good. I hope Junk Shop's doing good. I love you guys. Carry on the conversation.
Also, go watch.
Hey,
I
Julie.
put a TikTok in the private chat, and we need to watch it because I'm laughing so hard.
I need to follow you on TikTok.
Me?
Yes.
I just do singing videos on TikTok.
Fine by me. I scroll for the dopamine.
It's cool though because you can hear the difference he does.
I
Doing,
put
like,
my
he's singing,
testosterone transition.
Yeah, so he's singing one song in different phases, and it's like
I did a
da 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 da, and I'm like,
I did a
fuck,
duet with
man.
myself this
You
past
did.
week with
that was.
my
I saw the
pre-T
smirk
self.
on your face. Did you
Yeah,
see my
I did a
comment?
duet with
That's
my
the
pre-T
smirk.
self.
You were like,
Can you
I sound
edit
good.
Well, yeah,
to
because
make
I
it like
love
a
my
duet?
baritone.
I saw that shit, dude. You looked good. You sounded good. Fuck yeah.
It was fun.
Can you edit it so that it's like a duet, like you're singing with yourself, or is
Yeah,
that
I was
exactly
singing
what you're
with
doing?
myself.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah, because I recorded the video back then, and then I just did like there's a duet feature in TikTok that you can record alongside the video, so I did that. But also we need to watch this TikTok that's in the private chat because it's funny.
Okay, very short one there, huh?
I think that
It's
your
very
setup
short.
was perfect because Ben, in the most stoic way, you did this trick. It's the most hilarious thing in the world. I can't stop laughing. Meanwhile, nobody saw you laugh.
Mm-hmm. Well, I couldn't stop laughing when I was watching it.
Oh,
Now you got
Mowdy,
me
be
laughing.
nice.
Did you watch it though? Did you watch
Your
the
mean
TikTok?
Italian
No, I'm on
uncle's
my
coming
phone.
out.
I'm on my
Okay.
phone and I can't see the private chat.
Okay, well, what if... Okay, I'm going to share my screen then, and I'm going to make you watch it.
Please.
Do it,
Okay.
do it, do it.
Here, I got to go back and I got to replay it. Hold on.
Oh, wait a second.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Okay. Wait, you're playing it now? Yeah, I figured out how to do it on my phone, but I'd rather watch it with everybody.
I
You
think
see
B
it?
needs to add it to the stream. for
Oh,
us
yeah,
to
B
see
needs
it.
to... B. We need to add
Sorry.
to the stream.
Who? What?
Wake up, B.
Add my
Let's go.
thing to the
Julie!
stream.
Julie!
Hit the
Hold on.
button.
Julie first. Hi, Julie.
No.
Julie!
Hey, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Okay, you guys check this out real quick, and then we'll all say hi to Julie. Hold on.
Hi.
Okay. Okay, we got to... It's got to go back. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
It's so cute.
You know what? Fuck off, Ben. I know why you're playing this. I just realized what it is. You fucking dickhead, man.
Anybody else
That
love
off
the witch?
I'm trying to get the mouse over there, and I don't have my regular mouse connected, so I'm trying to use the pad to kill it. Fucking dick. No, okay, here's the joke. And it is not okay for everybody to say it. This is a Ben thing. Nobody else can say this shit. But it worked because okay, so this practice has been open for like 30 years or 40 years. And it's just changed hands recently to my bosses. And so these people have been coming there this whole time. And there's always been women working there. So when I answer the phone and I say Beck, they go, "Hey, Becca." And I'm like, God damn, dude. Like, this is how I answer the phone. Thank you for calling. This is Beck. How can I help you today? Does that sound feminine?
No.
Like, literally how I
Not
answer the phone.
particularly.
I literally I just talk calmly, and that's how it comes out.
I can't
I
see-
wasn't being an asshole. The video had nothing to do with that, B. Did you
Oh.
watch it?
Oh, no, I didn't watch the whole thing. Why? Should I? Put it back up. We can watch
It
it.
has nothing to do with you.
Oh, I thought you were giving me shit again about the Becca thing.
No, it says Baphomet. It's a kid.
Baphomet with go. Oh, that's amazing with cute little goat.
It's a
Okay,
kid.
play it again. Play it again. Now I want to see it.
Well, no, because now it's not funny because you
No,
missed
come
it.
on, Ben.
It's funny
Man,
because
it's so
he
cute.
used it.
It's
Look,
funny because
Dude, I
yeah.
just realized
Precious.
Lottie's on a train riding home and he's got a fucking Yingling in his fucking cup holder.
No, see,
Amtrak,
Maui-
motherfucker. Amtrak has a liquor license because any one of their trains can have a cafe cart. All of their trains are have a liquor license. So.
Oh yeah, I gotta say, my first honeymoon, because I've had to, we went to New Orleans on an Amtrak, and it was lovely. I will say that, like, you can just get up. We were in a sleeper car, and then we just like go to the bar, get drinks.
There are stories
bring
to
them back.
unpack
It was
from
awesome.
that lovely.
Yeah, there's a lot there. It was a good time. It was good. It was before, the first marriage went south. It was the honeymoon was real sweet. It was awesome.
Aww.
Yeah.
The first
you know.
one's practice.
The first one is practice. Absolutely. I agree.
Ruth.
Second one's so much better. Also, I wasn't 23 and an idiot. So there's that.
That's actually become a trend now that people are actually doing practice marriages.
Shit, really?
I'd
Yeah,
like to float
that
this
people are
idea.
getting married and openly saying that that this one's just a trial marriage and they don't expect it to last. And it's like, that's a fucking shitty attitude
So
to be
there
taking.
are
Weird.
theories.
Am I being
There are
weird when I
theories
say it's
about-
weird to me?
Well, no,
There are-
because you didn't plan to do it beforehand.
No,
Yeah, that's
no.
weird.
I was raised Catholic, and I shed a lot of the RC bullshit, the Roman Catholic bullshit. But like when I got married, like that was, I mean, I only stuck around for 10 years because I was that serious about it. I was like, no, I made a commitment, damn it, and stayed around way longer than I should have.
I mean, there are theories of relationships that make it clear that you might need a different person in your life depending on what stage of your life you're in. Like when you're in the establishing a family phase, that person who wants to do that with you might not be in the maintaining quality of life phase after that, or the retirement phase. Like I am not a proponent of this. I'm just saying that this idea is out there. But
No, I agree.
for those of you that, like for those of us that are interested in committed relationships, I think that it's a valuable piece of information to know that.
Well, I actually think that marriage should not be necessarily a lifelong thing. It should be like you get married on a 3-year contract with an option to renew. And I actually think more people would stay together that way because it means you have to keep working at it. You can't just take the person for granted because you know that on a specific date they could just walk away.
No, that's fair. That's fair, Purple. I didn't mean to laugh at your idea. What I instantly logged into in my brain was that moment in Blade Runner when the lawyer is negotiating the date and deciding and the two parties in the date are deciding whether or not sex is admissible in this first date contract. And that's what I instantly thought of, and that's why I giggled. I'm not laughing at your notion. Oh wow, sorry, we're out on my back porch. I'll turn the light on so it's not like crazy dark out here. There we go.
It's okay.
Or
You're
we could
kind
just
of dark
evolve
anyways.
polyamory. I mean, that way you get different things you need from different partners.
Yeah.
I'm all about that because I don't want to be everything for someone.
Oh,
That's
no.
just way too big a workload for me. I'd rather that they have other people that they can go off with a few nights a week and do other things.
The woman that married me the first time, hang on, let me explain. The woman who did the ceremony for my first wedding, that was the best piece of advice I've ever gotten on being married. Was I just asked her, I was like, hey, Trudy, any advice? She's no longer with us, but I feel the need to But she was amazing. Yeah, she was awesome. And I said, and she said, don't try to be everything to each other. That's too much. Just, you're going to need your friends. You're going to need your family. You are not, don't try to be everything.
Yeah, because
And
that
she was
breeds codependency.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. That's what she was leading me, away from, was like, don't be codependent, but she didn't use that term, but you're absolutely right. That's what she was saying.
Yeah, well, like with my fiance, when she said she wanted to bring another guy home, I was like, great, I've got the night off. I can go do something on my own.
Yep. Honestly, just whatever works and doesn't break any hearts. I mean, as long as everyone's communicating and everyone's agreeing, and everyone's okay. Now,
Well, I think that's the
polyamory
recipe,
is not for
regardless of
everyone.
your flavor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm married to someone who is polyamorous, and I am not. I'm monogamous just by nature. I discovered this the hard way. But I am, and it's just how I am. But they are not, and that's okay.
As long as you can accept that it doesn't bother you.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, because the idea that they can love more than one person at a time blows my fucking mind. Like I think that's amazing.
Well,
And I love them for that. I'm like, that's incredible, because I'm not missing anything.
That's really the reason.
I'm not, my needs are not going unmet, to be very clear. Like I'm fine. And they have this other person in their life with whom they are also in love, and it's all good. Like I mean, she and I are really good friends. It's fine. It's really good. So I did, just to throw it out there, like it can work.
Yeah, well, it works as long as you're both on board with it and you agree for it. That's the reason that Sloth Girl and I can't be in a relationship, because she needs someone to be monogamous, and I can't do that.
That's fair. I'm sorry to hear
So
that.
it's fair. Well, it's like, we spend time together every day, but yeah, we're looking for different things out of it, so it's not going to work.
Right. Yeah. No, and I mean, we went to Junk Shop, and I went to therapy over this. Like it was a big deal. It wasn't something that we, it wasn't a thing that we came to lightly. But once they said, no, I am in love with you, and I am also in love with this person, and I am being cagey to protect someone's privacy. I was like, okay, well, that's important. And, I'm not gonna, let's figure it out. So we went to a couples therapist who is also like of our, and I mean everybody that's here right now, of our ilk. And we went to couples therapy, and we figured out how we were going to deal with it. And yeah, I figured out that a lot of my hangups were from my very religious Catholic upbringing. And and when I was able to let some of that go and go, okay, do I want to, because the person they're in love with is married also to a dear friend of ours. And I was like, okay, do I want to break 4 hearts, or do we want to just let everybody be happy? It was an easy decision for me once I got to that point. Now that is a very distilled and boiled down situation. And also I am not saying that everyone needs to come to the same conclusion, because everyone is different. But that's where we're
it's
at.
The communication being open that makes it anything.
Oh yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, communication is important for all relationships to function healthily. But when you have more than 2 people in a relationship, like it scales exponentially how much you need open communication and dialogue. Because if one person feels like they are not getting enough, or if they feel a bit neglected, that can turn easily into resentment if they're not open about that. And it's something that needs to be addressed. And there are ways to, cope where you might not get the same quantity of time with each partner, but you can go for quality time when there is a disparity there. And again, it all comes down to being open about your feelings, open about your wants and needs, and just open and honest in communication.
Yes, and that is absolutely the key. And the thing is, I'm so lucky in that this happened. And it wasn't Junk Shop. It's not like Junk Shop was like, I'm gonna go fall in love with someone else. No, it just happened, like these things do. It's why they call it falling in love and not making a rational decision about whom I'm going.
Right.
Yeah. So it just happened, and they were like, hey, your call, because I love you and I want to stay with you. I want to stay married to you. And if this is gonna fuck us up, we're not. I can say no. We cannot do this. And I was like, nah, I don't want to own your sexuality. That feels weird. I don't want to, So I had issues, but we talked about it, and just like you just said, it was all about communication. And it's like, we figured out the parameters, we figured out what everybody was comfortable with, and it has gone very well. And I gotta say, like, again, this is a friend of mine. And these are two, and her spouse is a friend of mine. So these are people that I cherish in my life. And to have, it's sort of like an extra layer of I've got your back kind of thing. Like it's actually really nice, as it turns out, which I was not expecting. That was a level of stuff. Anyway, hey B, what were y'all talking about before I got here? Because
I kind of want to weigh in on something real quick. I actually would probably be interested in like trying a poly relationship sometime, because I hadn't really been exposed to it until recently. But like, I'm busy as fuck, and I know that. And sometimes like, I want intimacy, but I'd be okay if I'm not like that person's primary like all the time. Like, if I could have some intimacy sometimes, but then also know that if I'm not there all the time, that they're gonna be okay. So I'm like,
so someone who is like independent, loves themselves, is secure, and is okay with you going off and doing your thing, and then you guys get back together later. Exactly. Exactly.
Like,
Well,
I'd be okay
Yes,
with
sir.
like having a more open relationship where
I need a lot of
have other people
downtime
involved.
myself, and I realized that. And I would actually be better off being someone's secondary. Somebody who's in a relationship already, that just spends some time with me on the side. That's really about the only level of relationship I could handle at this point.
I respect that, Purple, and I think it's really important. I'm sorry, I'm blind. Like Ben was just saying, I really respect that. Knowing yourself and having that self-awareness is a huge part of the whole situation. And the reason that this situation made it necessary for Junk Shop and I to go to couples therapy was because I'd had sorry, that was loud. Oh my God. I'd had a bad experience in my previous marriage where my spouse and I tried to have the same girlfriend, and it did not go well. And nothing against her, nothing against anyone. It just, nope.
It's just, first of all, it's not for everybody.
It's not.
And if people are in a relationship, you love someone, even if you love them, it's okay to tell them you're not okay with it. But definitely have that discussion. Don't be angry at them because they're being honest with you. A lot of people, we put our feelings so much out there, we forget the logical end of it. This person is coming to you and revealing their soul to you. Don't be angry. If you really love them, if you're going to get angry at them, then you should walk away. You're not the one for them. Like, love them despite it. Talk to them about it. The biggest problem we have in our society and in our relationships and everywhere is we have horrible communication.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs to learn to communicate. Be 100% honest.
Yes,
I'm not pulling any punches right now. I'm just being myself.
Well, and like Kitty said, in a poly relationship, the communication is that much harder. because you've got more people that you've got to be considering their feelings all the time and make sure everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, it's very,
Absolutely.
very, very important.
And we are really good at that. And you know, Brett, I absolutely respect everything that you just said. You nailed it. Like that is exactly it. Like, and they know, you know, like we've talked about it. We've done all the work, the psychological work, like the three of us and the four of us. Like we've all discussed it, and it's you know, it's a lot when you have that many people, but you know, it's just what it is. Oh, what does Susan say? I can't read.
Susan
I can't
said,
see.
yeah,
I'm
I
on
was
my
about to
phone.
read it. I know it's about communication, but I can't stand the thought of my partner being with someone else. I'd feel inadequate. I do not have the capability of being in an ethically non-monogamous relationship. Like, I just can't do it. And, you know, that's okay because it's not for everybody. Honestly, I have been with women that I thought, hey, I could go out and have a threesome. We could have some fun. And I've been, and this one, don't fucking touch her. That's where I'm at right now. Don't fucking touch her. That's mine. I'm going to lick it and it's going to be mine. It's like taking that brownie off the top of the plate at the party and you lick the top brownie and set it down and no one touches the brownies. Those are your brownies.
Phrasing.
That's how I want to be the brownie.
Phrasing B.
Yeah, somebody had to bust in the Archer quote.
I did.
Hi, Bolt. What's up?
Oh, not much. Just enjoying the conversation.
I was talking about you in a chat earlier today in a good way, which is why I'm telling you about it. No, I was chatting with Val earlier, and it's just like, you're just a genuinely amazing human being, and I thought you deserve to know that. Like the fact that like you've just always been supportive of like everybody in the community. You're like always in the chat, and like yesterday, even with our like off the rails like newbie stream, like you were there like in the chat like the whole time, like
it was great.
Support. I'm like Bold is great.
I
like,
had a blast.
You're just there like
I didn't even know we were on Twitch, and I started talking about him.
Yeah, no, I didn't even know.
To tell me to tell me to shut up.
Don't talk about
that.
And
I kept talking, and they're like, "No, wait," and I'm like, "But I have to tell you guys. Oh my god, I can't fucking believe I just got this text message." I mean, now it's out in the open. It's fine, you know. She's not.
Yeah, I tried to warn you, but you wouldn't shut up long enough to hear me.
I know, Catnip. I'm sorry, but it's okay because Bolt got a little piece of it. He knows what's going on.
Yeah,
but I did want to make sure that Bolt knew like how appreciated you are in the community, and that like you've been
Bolt is
like
the
above
best.
and beyond to support everybody.
Don't get it twisted.
You deserve to know that. So
thank you.
Here you go.
I do appreciate that. I do my best to be there for my friends. So
yeah, and you're amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you really are, buddy, man. I first met you, and you were like totally, you know, cool and like broed with me instantly.
Of course.
And we just got along great. And I just think you're a great dude. And you are always welcome here. Always.
Thank you, B.
And if you ever have a bad day, and I'm going to tell you, I tell this to everybody, I'm not a mental health professional. I am someone who's been through a lot of shit in my life, and I know a lot of things, and I've paid attention, and I've learned. And I don't mind listening. If anybody in our community needs me to talk to, man, you guys just hit me up on Twitter. I'll do a private stream. We can talk face to face. You know, you can icon if you don't feel comfortable with that. It'll just be between me and you. I got everybody's back. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to feel what I'm feeling right now. That's what the fuck I want. This feels so fucking good. I don't even know. My legs and my arms and my face keep just randomly going numb.
I get the feeling
I am there's so much. So
things went better than I heard.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
But I did also like I want to say like I tend to be very bluntly honest with people. Like you all probably know that. Like I will give criticism where I feel like I need to give criticism, and I'll tell you exactly what I think about an issue. But like that has to go like in all directions. Like I'm not gonna just be bluntly honest about the things that I think are bad. Like if I'm gonna like I think my words need to carry weight, and with that, anytime I compliment somebody, if you are getting a compliment, it is a sincere compliment. Like I don't just hand them out. So because I
No,
want
Ben
my
really
words,
doesn't.
like if I use my words, I want my words to be meaningful, and I don't want to dilute my compliments like with fake compliments. So if I say something, like I genuinely mean it, and that is like my honest opinion.
I love the love that we all have.
I'm
I
just
love
so
the love that we all
grateful.
have.
Honestly, Ben and B and Kat and the other people. Well, I don't really know the rest of you that well, but Ben, B, and Kat.
Julie. Nice to meet
Hi,
you.
Julie.
Hey.
The three of you, like, I'm so grateful I've met you guys, and I just appreciate that I've been included and kind of become friends. And
aw, buddy, you're
it makes
great.
me
You
it makes
you
me
fit
really
right
happy.
in.
Okay,
Yeah,
folks, I've got to run here.
You fit right in. Purple, I love you.
Love
Thank
you,
you so much
Purple.
for
Love you, Purple.
Thank you.
We'll see
Thank
you
you for
later.
coming.
Bye-bye.
Wait. Thank
What?
you for coming on and talking about your experience and being honest. I really do appreciate you guys. Being open with
I
people.
need to do this. I need to have this community and people who at least have some idea of similar experiences.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're with you. We are with you.
Totally got you, Purple.
Always.
Have a great night, sweetheart.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Someone was trying to get in the back room there, but I didn't have enough room until we'll see who it is.
Okay.
If you're still back there, hang out a minute.
Yeah, so this is the first time I'm seeing like Kat, hey, and Ben, hey. I know everybody in here, but I've been working a lot and been kind of off a bit, so some folks I don't know, so it's lovely to meet you, the Bolterian.
Bolt.
Just call me Bolt. It's good.
Everybody just calls him Bolt.
Yeah, fuck me. I was a teacher for a long time, so I have this like obsession with getting names right. But
there's that someone.
Oh, who is it?
It's
HF.
It's
Holy Spackle.
Just when you thought it was safe.
I know, right?
I'm sorry,
here
Val.
comes the Mowdy
In and out had to happen, okay?
Val, why did you leave?
I'm so
I'm
jealous.
jealous.
We ain't got those.
Oh my god.
I want in and out. Oh,
We ain't got in and out over here.
I'm totally teasing. It's awesome that you're here.
Val, if you want to come in, B can kick me.
Well, is there anybody that's getting close to leaving? That's what I want to know.
Well, I should
Well,
go
I'm
to
almost
bed,
at my
but not yet,
destination.
so
I'll bounce.
it's up to you.
80% of the time I've seen
Okay, there you
Mowdy
go.
on
Thank you,
camera
Mowdy.
is traveling somewhere, and like most of that is on a train or maybe a bus. Like sometimes you can't really tell. Pretty sure a train though.
Train. No. He
Yeah.
takes a train from work.
Don't smoke tobacco, kids. It's stupid.
Yeah. Even if you switch
Really
to the
is.
not as bad version, it's still not good for you.
I'm just glad that I didn't pick it up because it looks expensive.
God damn it, it so is. It's like not. I spend more on cigarettes than I spend on groceries, y'all. It's ridiculous.
I was making
Don't
my
smoke.
own. I was making my own vape juice until the mail ban happened, and it was costing me so much less.
Cat
than
can
buying
about
it.
shit.
I still make my own. When I saw the mail ban
Hold on, Val.
coming, I ordered a fuck ton of Nick's solution in PG
Hi, Val.
solution and have it stored in the freezer. I have 2 years worth of nicotine.
Oh, geez, you're smart.
Yeah, I dropped over $100 on nicotine, just the nicotine, because I knew that I was gonna need it. Hopefully, it gets overturned because it is ridiculous. It's like harming small businesses. I know so many vape shops that have closed up because of the undue burden that has been placed on them and the end consumers.
Well, Washington State's kind of going crazy. They're trying to ban flavors. They're trying to, they're nuts.
So stupid.
Okay, the whole idea they seem to have is that any law that a politician can make that looks like it helps kids, they'll try and pass because that makes them look good at re-election time. So this entire debate's framed around how kids get their hands on flavored vapes, and it's increased the amount of people addicted to nicotine. And that's why that's why they're going to vote to ban flavors, right? To
Yeah,
make it
you're
less
right.
appealing to kids. That's going to be their excuse.
Mhm.
When, I mean, sure, the science isn't out yet for how this is different than smoking, but I have a feeling that because there's no combustion, it's probably a little bit less damaging.
A little bit
see.
less, because
that's
we
the
need
thing
the
is
combustion is
We'll
what
see,
makes the carcinogens
It's
go.
going to be
They
30
put a-
years before we find out.
They put a lot of chemicals and crap into cigarettes that we really should not be breathing in because it is burning. It's not good for your lungs. It's like go stand by a campfire and
oh my gosh,
you know, like it's almost that. It's not that harsh, but you know what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm
like,
sorry, Beck.
What?
That's why my father quit smoking cigarettes before I was born, because he toured a cigarette factory. Like I forget it was if it was Camel or Marlboro, but it was the brand he'd smoked since he was in the army, because they used to give you cigarettes with your rations in the army, and my dad is a
Right.
Korean War veteran.
Yeah,
so
back then they did it. Yeah.
yeah, back then they did that, and so he toured a factory and he saw all the extra chemicals they were spraying on the tobacco, and he was like, and then he thought about the fact, he was like, okay, cigarettes are 50 cents. It's gonna fuck up everybody's mind for a second. 50 cents a pack, and I have kids and a wife at home. Fuck this. And he threw the unsmoked, like partially smoked pack of cigarettes he had in the gutter, never looked back. And frankly, I don't know how the man did that, because
I don't know how anyone does that.
Right? I have never had that kind of motivation to quit, but I think it was the chemicals, and that's why I smoke them. And by the way, these are not safe. These will still give you cancer and all the bad shit, but that's why I smoke American Spirits.
American Spirits, yeah.
Because they don't have a bunch of chemicals in them. Yeah, it's true. But they're
Yeah,
so
the additives aren't
expensive,
there.
man.
They
like
are
$2.50
but-
more a
but-
pack. I can't even afford to smoke the ones I have. Well, I'm trying to try to quit anyways.
No, I feel you, hon. I feel you. But what it does for me is when I was smoking Camels or Marlboros, I was smoking roughly 2 packs a day. When I smoke
Okay.
these, because they're so tightly packed and they take a long time to get through one cigarette, I
Yeah.
smoke a pack a day or less. And
Oh, well,
so I'm
that's
like,
good.
well,
Okay.
Harm reduction.
slightly better. I'm not saying it's safe, not saying it's a good idea. If anybody is watching this, do not, if you have not started smoking, I wish I could go back to my 18-year-old self.
Oh, I know. Don't
me too.
do it. Don't
Don't
fucking
start.
do. I'm
Yeah,
not
don't
kidding you.
start.
I have been smoking. I am a 33-year fucking pack smoker. It's like,
I'm a professional.
No, I have been smoking for fucking 33 years. And when I did quit, I smoked so much when I hadn't quit that for the short little time that I did, that it negated it anyways. You know, I had to go in and get a goddamn chest CT done, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a little scary.
Yeah.
It was scary to go in there, and I haven't had anything checked on me. I've never had any imaging done on my torso besides with the kidney thing and all that. So it was kind of scary for a minute there, you know. I know I could have fucked myself, and I got lucky, and I came back really fucking healthy with nothing wrong with me. That is so fucking rare.
I know.
I have
I know.
the
I mean,
best
I had
genes. I have
one-
the best
Well,
genes.
the problem here
I
though
had-
too is it's not like the problem's over from here. Like even if you quit today and never went back, like cancer takes time to develop. So the stuff that you could have done in your teens and your 20s, like even if your CT is clear now, it might not be the next time because the mutations take time and it takes time for things to grow. So like it's something that you face consequences for like a lot farther down the line. So be safe. Like, and yeah, harm reduction is important because you don't want to force people to quit cold turkey and to like cause problems that might end up being worse in the long run and have people pursuing more harmful options because they don't have safer options. Like we can't approach things as like all or nothing in treatment. And I think harm reduction is absolutely the way that we need to approach it.
Yeah,
I'm just
yes.
looking
Be it
forward to
gum, lozenges, patches, snooze, vaping, any of those, you know, if it gets people away from traditional combustible cigarettes, which actually, going back to what Bolt was saying about them wanting to ban flavors and the think of the children argument, not only do I roll my eyes so hard I peak my brain, like, here's the thing. They make that argument about flavors in cigarettes and in vape products, but there's birthday cake vodka. There's churro flavored vodka.
Right, exactly.
You never hear them say
No, they
think
never
of the
complain about that.
children when it comes to alcohol with candy
No.
flavors.
No.
No, and
I just can't wait till the Chantix recall is figured
Oh
out.
my God,
because
Chantix. I have been raging. Okay, so I quit
love that stuff.
smoking. I quit smoking over 10 years ago when I switched to vaping. It was the only thing that got me to quit, like fully. Chantix, I've raged against Chantix for a while because when I quit, I joined an ECF, Electronic Cigarette Forum, and I was really involved with CASA, which is a consumer advocacy for safer alternatives, and other things. Because there was a time when they wanted these regulated as medical devices, and the FDA was hijacking shipments coming from China. Like, if you are an OG vapor, if you've been doing it more than 10 or 12 years, because it's coming up on the 12-year mark for me, you know about these things. Like, people today are spoiled. Even with things the way they are, like, it was bad.
She's
back
right.
then.
You used to have to get a prescription for
Well,
they called
here's
it
the
an inhaler, but it was a nicotine inhaler.
Here's the thing. So Chantix was killing people. It was causing people to have psychotic breaks, and there were stories of people killing themselves or killing their loved ones and then themselves. Like, we were actually documenting all of these things. And
yeah, I read it in the literature when I got it the first time.
there's also,
but I still love it.
I mean, if it helps, I don't know, but it's
No,
a
it's
huge
the
risk.
dreams. It's the dreams. I get fucking vivid dreams. It's amazing.
Try Ambien instead. A
It
little
was
safer.
It was the most
The
effective
thing is, it
thing
makes
I
me
ever
stop
took.
smoking.
But my spouse at the time was like, "This is making you turn into a bitch," because that was, you know, the way that's why he's not my husband anymore. But so that was, yeah, one of the many reasons. But yeah, that was just a Tuesday. That was like not a weird occurrence, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll quit doing it. But you still threatened to leave me if I didn't quit smoking. So what? I don't know.
And while we're on the topic of harm reduction, I'm going to make this PSA for if you are currently or plan on being sexually active, be sure you have your HPV vaccine. You probably already got it, but do it if you haven't gotten it, because it's another thing that could kill you like 10 plus years down the road. So make sure that you're vaccinated for that, and also just understand your risk of other STDs as well. Like,
You're
do
just
whatever you
trying to
want,
get me
but
to get the
understand your
mark
risk.
of the beast.
Ben, does that vaccine, it only protects against a couple of the strains of HPV, right? The ones that
the high risk.
specifically cause or
The
high
high
risk to
risk
cause
ones.
cancer.
I have a question, Ben. I have a question, and you might be able to answer it. I'm negative for HPV, which is frankly fucking amazing, given how often. Hey, you know what?
Fantastic.
Not important. The point is, I'm negative for HPV, which is fantastic.
That's awesome.
'Cause
Proud
my
of you.
mom. Thank you. But my mom has only had one sexual partner in her life, my father, and she had malignant cervical cancer. So, and I'm not saying that, you know, it's all mutually exclusive. It's very nuanced. It you know, it just depends on things. But my question is, I thought I was too old to get the I'm 43. I thought am I too old to get the HPV vaccine? Can I still get it? Because if I can still get it, I'll go get it. But I
mean,
thought,
there's a range. There's an age range for it. I don't know if you're within the age range.
Okay.
But just you'll probably be fine. Like, if you're not in the range to get the vaccine, and I mean, everybody still should get your screening exams that you're supposed to be getting, like in the regular intervals, and then you're probably fine.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, and I do that.
I just came off of an OB-GYN rotation, so that was like half of what we saw was like HPV.
No. I absolutely respect that, because HPV it's such a common. It's like almost like so many people had it because it doesn't have symptoms to speak of. Like it really doesn't. You don't know you have it, and so it's I was honestly very shocked to find out that I didn't have it because my ex stepped out so much. And
the number of people who have herpes is insane as well. So
yeah, agreed. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, at some point, if you have herpes or not. I was very
no, not always.
No,
It's
actually,
about 80% of people don't know they have herpes.
Actually, a lot of people are just carriers and will give it to someone who will have the symptoms. It's actually very common.
That gives me. I have a question then for the good doc. Okay, if you have face herpes, if you have fever blisters, could you pass it to genitals with oral sex?
It is possible.
It's possible. They're usually two different strains of herpes.
Yeah.
So anything above the belt is usually HSV1, and anything below the belt is usually HSV2. So you could transmit it, but it's not usually the same strain.
Not worried about it because I don't have it. I was just
but HSV1 is also the type that usually causes encephalitis. So if you have brain swelling from your herpes, it's probably the mouth herpes and not the genital.
Gosh, that's interesting.
Also, a condom might not protect you
Not
from
at all
genital
terrifying.
herpes, FYI.
Yeah.
Because it's skin-to-skin contact.
So it's good to get tested if you have a new partner.
Yeah.
Actually,
it's
you know
good
what?
to get tested.
to piggyback on what
Are you
Ben
aiming
said,
at me, Ben?
I mean that is everybody.
I gotta say, I came of age. Do you know what I mean? Came of age in the 90s. So we were all very aware of HIV, and we all were huge. Like, condoms are good. Use condoms. So I just to piggyback on what Ben was saying. Practice safe sex. If you've both been tested thoroughly, and there's nothing weird going on, and you're not cyst, or you're not worried about, or if you're trying to have a baby, or if you're not, for whatever reason, worried that's a possibility, then fine, you do you. But anything beyond that, oh my gosh, use condoms. It's not that hard. Sorry, poor word choice on my part. It's not that difficult.
I appreciate the pun. I think that was great.
Thank you. But really, like, use fucking condom. Honestly, it feels the same. If there's any
no,
I guess I'll say this.
That's okay.
Fair enough.
You don't have to use.
It might feel about the same for the receiver, but the kicker ain't getting the full effect.
The pitcher is having a slightly different experience.
That's fair. I can't speak for people with penises because I have a vagina, but if you have a vagina, it feels the same and it's awesome. So
I just want to make this announcement and say that I am sensitive to latex, so I have to find alternative materials.
And I want to say,
which they're there, but I just want to say, like, there are some.
And I want to say too, it's okay, like, because if you don't want to use protection, or you don't want to partake in what is considered to be safe sex, that's totally fine. But understand your risk. Just know that certain things cause certain risks, and if you're willing to accept the risk of not using safer practices, then that's up to you. But just know that you're at risk for certain things. So,
and you should be getting tested
and you should be getting
regularly.
tested.
Yeah,
and you need to communicate with your partner, make sure everybody knows what the deal is and what practices you want to use, so that you're not putting somebody else at risk for something that they are not consenting to be put at risk.
That's the most important thing, I think, Ben, is that you shouldn't be willing to put someone else at risk. So it's really important that you have those conversations, you get tested.
Because a lot of
everybody knows what's happening. And
a lot of people who end up with different kinds of STDs and such, it's because the either you both don't know, somebody doesn't know, which means you didn't get yourself checked, or someone knows and is hiding it, and that's dishonesty and lack of communication. So it's really just not being, yes, we all get excited. We're all driven. We all want to fuck. Okay, great. But, at the end of the day, that person you're going to go fuck, you're probably not going to be with, and then you're going to get something off of them that's going to last for the rest. Herpes, like cockroaches, it don't go away. You're stuck with that shit. My brother has HIV. My brother, the first man he ever slept with, gave him HIV. They tracked that guy's movements for a year. There was between who he fucked, there were 60 people that came, and who they fucked, it was over 300 that he put at risk. My brother has HIV to this day. He gets up every single morning, goes and makes coffee, gets his glass of water, takes his I don't want to be full HIV blown pill, waits about 20-30 minutes and tries not to shit his pants as he goes and runs to the bathroom. And then he gets in the shower and cleans himself up and goes makes coffee and hope it doesn't happen again for the rest of the day. So every day for the last 26 years, my brother has taken a pill and had to shit his pants every fucking morning.
And the fucked up thing about that,
because he fell in love with somebody who didn't give a fuck about him.
And the fucked up thing about that is he's one of the lucky ones.
Oh yeah. He just
Because
got HIV and they caught it early and they started treating him right away. And the treatments are getting better over the years, but it's just what it is.
Yeah.
You know what it's like to be in a relationship where you have to run in the bathroom and you shit like an explosion every fucking morning.
I do.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Can I address something in the chat really quick? Because I see there's a debate.
What is it?
They're debating over hysterectomy versus scraping the uterus out, and I do want to clarify. Yes, Duff Freak, there is a procedure where they do scrape the uterus out. It's called DNC, dilatation and curettage. You can do that, depending on what you're using it for. It's not really used for HPV because HPV usually affects the cervix and not the endometrium. But if you wanted to scrape out the endometrium, they do that for endometrial cancer.
This is hurting me listening to this.
It's often Dr. Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's often used after a miscarriage, yeah?
Yeah, it can be used after a miscarriage.
And for abortions.
Anything where you have contents in the uterus that should not be there, they can do that.
It's pretty common after miscarriages to do that.
Yeah, thank you. I've literally been with a friend and held her hand while she went through a DNC and that was
watched
why
a few of them.
She miscarried.
I've had one.
They don't look fun.
No.
It's not that bad. To be fair, the procedure itself's not that bad. They gave me twilight sedation, so basically a combination of Versed and fentanyl. So I was a little bit buzzed and kind of a little loopy during the procedure, and then I was really hungry afterwards, and that was that. I had some cramping and some spotting for about a week or so, but that was it. The worst procedure for me was the endometrial ablation because that gave me a month-long period, essentially.
I was actually talking about you, not by name, but to the OB-GYN I was working with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She said, go see her. I was like, yeah, there are problems with an ablation. She's like, oh yeah, a lot of ablations are terrible, and I don't like to do them a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's not just the ablation. It was also the Assure.
Yeah.
But I hate having a uterus.
It's the worst. I want mine gone ASAP.
Right?
I was
it's a difficult organ for sure.
It's funny that you were talking about me because I was just talking to my sister about you today when we went and got our nails done. I was like, hey, I have a doctor friend, and he just did a rotation with an OBGYN clinic, and he was like, hey, they would cut our uteruses out. And she's
she would happily see.
And I was like, Arizona, and she's like, fuck.
Yeah, it's far away, but she would happily help you out.
It's like, all right, when we get the money, we're going to make a trip of it. We'll stay in a nice hotel for a week or so after the procedure and then come back. Maybe we'll rent a Winnebago and just road trip it out there, make make it a big fucking fun thing for us to just go and get our uteruses cut out because both of us are done with them. And it turns out,
girl, I want to come now. You got to take me with you.
Yes.
Stop at Memphis. Pick me up.
I will
This is
stop
a
by
really
Memphis to get
weird
you.
road trip movie.
This is going to be an
But
interesting party.
I like there are three of us. There's me and then my two younger sisters, and all three of us have issues with our uteruses, just slightly different ones.
Cervical cancer almost killed my mother. I'm ready to be done. And also, the something that happens to women in my family is we get premenopausal early, in our early 40s usually. So I'm like on the cusp of that. And then also we tend to go through menopause early, but we go through it for fucking ever. My mother went through, she was going through menopause from the time I was in high school in the 90s until I was in graduate school in 2004, and she had malignant cervical cancer and had to have a radical hysterectomy along with parts of her cervix cut out. So that's when menopause stopped for her. So somewhere between 1994 and 2004 that happened. And I, you know what, Ben, yes, you should have your uterus gone. I absolutely agree. You can stand in line ahead of me. It's fine. But
when I'm getting mine out, I'm getting a full bottom surgery. So it's going to be, I'm going to have to go to very specific people who will do like the full, because I don't want, I mean, it'll be a 2-stage procedure anyway to get like the penis and then to get the scrotum. But like I'm getting the uterus out at the same time I'm getting a dick put on. So
do it.
Hey,
but I don't know when that's going to happen.
Do it. I mean, because even as a cis woman, like, and I definitely identify as a woman. That like my gender and my sex happen to line up. Yay for me, whatever. But like, I just, I so want it gone. So,
but this OB-GYN won't do my procedure, but she does like all the surgeries for like OB-GYN. So like she will happily take your uterus out. And she's like, something that I admire about her so much is that like she makes sure that every person knows that they do not need to suffer. Like the goal is to make them not suffer. So like it's not about how many kids you have or like if you have your husband's approval or what, like if you need to stop suffering, then you need to stop suffering.
I love that
like
so
she's
much.
amazing.
That's just gonna make me cry in a good way.
Ben?
Yeah.
But
what can I ask you a question medically relevant to the surgery you may have? Obviously they must use implants for testes.
Yeah. So you get like a graft for the scrotum part, and then you put like little silicone implants.
And then like everything's operational.
Well, you can get a pump.
Right. I imagine that you'd have to have something.
But that's
for that
another.
Part of it, but
yeah, that's actually a third step in a procedure if you choose to get the pump, but not everyone gets the pump. So if you get the pump, it's actually 3 procedures.
Wow.
But
that's a lot.
It's a lot of procedures.
Yeah. Well,
it seems like, you know, turning a penis into a vagina is a much simpler procedure than, you know, like making a penis, you know.
Well, it is, and that's why, you know, back in the day, if you'd have a botched circumcision, which, by the way, please don't mutilate your child's genitals.
Please
it's
don't.
Not okay.
Yeah. Don't do it.
But you know, I am not being anti-Semitic here. Okay, I'm just saying, please don't mutilate your child's genitals. It's not cool. But yeah, you'd have a botched circumcision, and if it was severe enough, that used to be common practice. That used to be like the next step was, okay, well, we're going to, we think nature over nurture, right? Or I'm sorry, nurture over nature, sorry. And we're going to, you know, it's easier to invert a penis and make a vagina than it is to fix the problem with
that's
by doing it completely unnecessary.
That's common for intersex, but that's not common. That's not common.
It's not common, but it did used to be done.
There have been cases of people committing suicide later too because it wasn't their proper gender, which just further solidifies that It is part of your makeup, not how you are raised.
Not your body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, both of you. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Like we are born the way we are born, and it just is. Like gender.
I like it when the Empress
like
of
sex
Hell
is one
preaches.
thing, but gender is a thing. Sorry.
Honestly, like the only people who get to choose, and it's not even really choosing, would be like pan or bi people, where like they can choose who they might want to pursue, but they can't choose who they're attracted to. Like that's the closest you're getting to
And they're
choosing.
also probably quite comfortable. Either they're comfortable in the gender they were born in, or whatever. Terms are really weird. You guys get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Somebody correct me if I'm using them wrong, but they're either comfortable or they're not, right? So like even if they're bi, it's not like they're gonna necessarily have a reassignment surgery because they're fine with who they are.
Yeah. No. I agree, and I would even argue that attraction isn't something that should be judged. It's one of those few things that's so subjective that unless it's inappropriate. If you were
right.
I don't want to say the word, but y'all know what I'm thinking about right now.
No animals, no kids. Yeah.
You're right. No animals, no kids. So unless you're
consent matters,
so
right?
long as you're not doing harm to another living thing, you're good. You're golden. You're good to go. And for me, not to not to put too fine a point on it, but I've always been attracted to all the chocolates in the box. So I don't care.
There's also a misnomer that's like if you're bisexual, that you're straight in the middle, which is not necessarily true.
No.
Or you're a fucking unicorn and everybody wants you to fuck them and their spouse or their
When you
boyfriend.
may or may not be attracted to one or the other.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I learned
I'm just
recently
attracted
that
to
I'm
tops.
bi. Yeah, I learned recently that I'm bi.
Yes.
But I'm attracted to different like presentations differently. Like I'm very viscerally attracted to people who present feminine, but then like with people who present masculine, like, and it doesn't matter what their genitals are. It's just like their gender presentation is like, if they present more masculine, then I'd have to like, I'm a bit more demi and have to get to know them before I develop an attraction to them. So so I'm attracted to like all different types of people, but like my body reacts differently to different types of people.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Because something I've learned, like watching, honestly, Beck, like watching your videos and stuff, like I was really attracted to you. We've talked about like 2 solid years of flirting, right? And it's just flirting, y'all. Like, nothing's going on. Like we are hundreds of miles away from each other. But
and besides, I love junk shop.
flirting
I
is
would never
healthy.
cross the line.
God knows all about it and would be fine.
Oh,
but
I've flirted with half the fucking people here. They know I flirt. It's fine.
Indeed.
Okay, Lone. Just my point is that
not you, catnip.
I'm not one of those bisexual or pansexual people who's like, I just care about the person, not about the gender. It's like, no, it's not. Presentation does kind of affect the way that I'm attracted to someone. And Beck, I gotta say, like, you are just as fucking hot right now as you were before.
Do it, Julie.
You said you're trans, so I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm sorry. Not trying to make you uncomfortable.
No, it's just I think I'm just putting off good pheromones or something because I got like the one person I thought I'd never be with in my life who is absolutely fucking crazy about me. And we are like so on the same page with fucking everything. And we get along amazing. We laugh all the time. And it's just like the most amazing fucking thing. And she's like, you're so fucking sexy. And I'm like, what? Have you looked at me?
I'm
all right.
thank you.
I'm not saying I'm ugly. I got some good features, but
get a
I ain't
room.
all that blocks the crack.
Get a room.
Say yes and girl. I'm sorry, man.
That's right.
Say yes and.
Yes and is the right reaction.
Yeah. Say yes and.
But no, like what Julie is saying, like, I can actually, identify with that too. Like, I don't care about a person's genitals, but I still consider myself bisexual, not pansexual, just because there is a binary to me in that if I'm going to FAP, I'm going to be watching porn with all women in it because I am more sexually attracted to the female form. But I am sexually attracted to men too, but I have more of an emotional connection with men and I bond better with men. So I tend to date men, whereas women would be more like fling type things. So it's one of those things like, I can get my woman fix with just, a vibrator and a decent porno, whereas, like that connection that I feel with men, like I've always gotten along better with men or, masculine presenting people just in general as a like women. I was the girl that had all the guy friends and like didn't get along with any of the girls. So unless I was fucking the girl, like no, it's like, cats and water and just no. Whereas guys, I can get along with just about any guy.
Yeah, I'm a little bit different. I'm
No, I hear you and I respect
oh.
that. And that reminds me of my own like youth experience. So I'm older than you are, Kat, and I don't know more than you do. I'm not trying to say that. I just I've calmed down. No way I'm gonna say this is gonna come out right. Someone else talk, please.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Hi,
Val. I get in trouble all the time. It's cool. Like, I was just gonna say that I am one of those people that's had friends on both genders, no problem. But I've always been that tree climbing, girl, right? The tomboy that lives next door. That being said, there is something that's really interesting in, I guess, gender presentation where it's like a different language to me that I just didn't pick up, which is like, I got my nails done and makeup and like I'm just like I don't speak that language, but I still consider myself female and I feel like I'm a female, but like some of the pressures that I felt like and I'm in SoCal, right? So the pressures that I feel that women should present themselves a certain way, like I'm just like, no, fuck you. And I don't know what it is in me that's like that. But I'm kind of on that, kind of spectrum. And it took me a while to feel comfortable. I always felt like I was sort of like, I don't know how to describe it, like a failure as a woman. I used to get down on myself because I used to feel that way because like there's this pressure.
I'm sorry. I understand that, but I just, if I may interject, I understand I'm interrupting you incredibly rudely, and I apologize. But just, I'm a fucking tomboy. I'm a 43-year-old tomboy, and I'm not into makeup or frilly anything or like basically.
And Kitty is, and it's wonderful, and it's cute.
Yes,
but...
and the people
Not everybody wants to put in this much effort.
No, yeah, like no disrespect to anyone else. Like we are all individuals. Okay. So what I'm saying is like you are absolutely if you identify as a woman, you are a woman. And I don't give a fuck how you present. I don't care. I don't need you to have long ass like acrylic nails. I don't need you to have long ass hair. If you tell me you're a woman, you're a woman. That's good enough for me. I'm just saying. Because I have like I fought like I grew up in the South in Kentucky and Tennessee. Like I've been in the holla and I've been and I've lived most of my life in Memphis, Tennessee. And the thing is like people will actively tell me I'm not feminist. I'm sorry, not feminine. No, they don't say that I'm not feminine enough because I don't have kids and I don't have like giant nails and I don't wear makeup all the time. I'm not wearing any right now. And it's like, well, fuck you. Like, no, I'm a woman and that's fine. And you're a woman and that's fine. Like
I was like, Kitty, don't go.
No, I closed down. I'm like, oh fuck. So let me come back in real quick. No, it's fine. Like it is a lot of work to, you know, practice getting good at makeup. I mean, I do it because I like the way it makes me feel. I feel pretty when I wear makeup. And
I feel pretty, oh so pretty.
exactly.
I'm here to compete with Kitty, though.
I am not fucking with you, Kitty. That
No,
came
no,
from
no.
my heart.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It did. I love fucking musicals. Sorry. Go on.
Kitty and
That's
I hang out,
fabulous.
and Kitty's like, I got my nails done. I'm like, that's pretty. And then like, but if you were to say, hey, you want to get nails done together? I'm like, no.
Hey, Spackle, when I come out and visit, we are going to at least go out and get mani-pedis, because you don't have to do anything fancy. You don't have to get acrylic or anything, but it is good for your nails, and your feet will feel fabulous when they like scrub off any rough bits, and you know, you get that nice little massage.
Well,
Like,
I
we'll
take
do
care of my
mani-pedi.
feet. Like I don't have any rough bits on my feet. Like,
Well,
I
not
have
necessarily
hands.
that you, but still, they're great. I brought Michael when Michael's sister was getting married. I dragged him to the nail salon with me, and he sat there and got a pedicure right next to me. Like it is not a gendered thing to do like a manicure and pedicure, because it's just about, you know, like treating your nails well, and you know,
It's kind
but
of in the same light of getting your hair done as well, right? By someone who
Mhm.
actually
Yeah.
knows how to, the right product, the right
Mhm.
kind of, as someone who has to have long hair, or else I'm dysmorphic as fuck. I also have a lot of it, so I have to, like, I don't do my nails, but you better believe, like, I will drop money on my hair. Like,
I feel like B didn't
just-
even
yeah.
notice the fact that I'm wearing a wig right now.
Oh, I
B is like
noticed.
so Twitter
Yeah,
faded.
I
Oh,
noticed.
dude, I'm so
So
sorry.
handsome
I
in his
didn't even
wig.
look up at you.
You
Well, I
look
have
fabulous,
progressive.
Ben.
I have progressives on, so I tend to look at the people in the bottom, because if I look at you up there, I have to do this. So I don't even look up there because it hurts my eyes. So I just look down
This
here
is
in the chat.
Fine.
I play my guest character on Nat One Heroes is Winston Thrasher, and he is a drag queen named Madame Croquembouche. So I have my dual personalities, but this is my drag wig.
That's
So-
amazing. Dude,
That
I
is
want to learn to
amazing.
do drag makeup. That is an
Oh, I
art
don't know how to do the
form.
makeup. I just play a drag character in D&D.
I don't know how to do it. I just
Because
play it
I
in
don't know
D&D.
how to do any drag, but I play a drag
In
queen
D&D,
in
you
D&D.
say.
I like
just
my
wanna
eyebrows
point
too
out
much
I
to
need
that
to know
drag
more.
makeup.
that Ben's hair makes me want cotton candy.
D&D
So-
is my
Some.
favorite thing. So please talk
Speaking
more.
speaking of
Say more.
Ben's hair, I'm gonna have to end this stream. But
Oh, god damn it, B.
you guys are welcome to stay in the background. My
B.
headphones are dying. My other ones I can't hear shit on.
I
I'm
gotta
having
fuck
a
you guys.
very deep seated conversation. My brain is
Cat.
not.
Yeah, you were
in it.
distracted,
Look
my
at
friend.
Cat's face.
Yeah, I was still in the conversation. No, I was just letting you guys talk more than I usually do, which I thought everybody'd be thankful for because I interrupt everybody so much. But you know what? Fuck y'all. I'll just interrupt. No, everybody shut up. No,
Can't
everybody
please
shut
us.
up. Okay, so seriously, I think this has been a great conversation tonight, and I love all of you guys that came on here, and I love the love and the respect and the advocacy and the support and everything everybody gives each other here, and it really does mean a lot to me. And this is mushy night, so I'm going to say it again. I love all you guys, everybody in the chat except for DeFreak, who I really just don't know you. I don't think. Maybe I've talked to you once. I've seen you around, but I don't know you. But everybody else, I love you guys. And you guys are always supportive, and you come in all the time, and you shill out my stuff, and you get rid of the trolls for me and everything else. I love every single one of you. Everybody, I want you to take care of yourselves. I want you to take care of one another. I want you to have some peace in your life. And don't forget, like, really, really learn to love yourself. It's the key to happiness. Peace out.